Ready?
All right, guys. Denise needs to mute her camera. It's very loud. All right, guys. So we have a special guest. He was driving up here from Virginia. All the way from Virginia. And I don't know where he's at. His car's here. His car's here. Yeah, but I don't know where he's at. I don't see him. Is he here yet?
I don't know. Wait.
Oh, the gods. How'd you get in here? The door's locked.
It's not appropriate.
All right.
We're doing a podcast.
All right, everybody. This is Aaron Taylor with Ridgeside K9, a very, very close and dear friend to Denise and I. Look how tall he is.
So we were adopted brother and sister at one point. Nobody knows the real. Tell them the whole
We don't know which one's brother, which one's sister, but anyway.
We're not brother and sister.
So Aaron drove up this morning you left?
Mm-hmm.
What time did you leave?
Hold on, because there's something behind the car.
That's Matt.
Oh, okay.
I know who it is.
Oh, is that Matt Lazy?
Yeah.
Oh,
We had a serious
okay,
problem.
I know, I was seeing it too. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Worked all day yesterday. Got to bed about 1 o'clock in the morning. Woke back up at 3:30 and drove from DC to Utica, Michigan.
What a pal, right?
What a swell guy. So you want to do a tour through the shop, Aaron?
Yeah, man.
So
Let me show
guys,
you around.
we put a repeater in here, so hopefully everything is
Who's doing the story? You or me?
I'll follow you with the camera. You tell me, because you've been here once before. You came here on our first day, right?
Come on. Don't ask about the solo cup. All right, guys, we are entering. This is more of a girl's side, a little bit low key. There's some really unique stuff over here. It's a lot to take in. Old Cabbage Patch. Guys, we like toys. This is the place to be. So John's shop is not a toy store. It's more of a destination toy establishment. But this is the overrun side. Now,
Overrun side? What's that supposed to mean?
it's just overrun stuff. There's just a lot to take in.
It's beautiful.
Follow me now. But I'm gonna take you guys to the side where it's magical and where so much is going on, and it's just so cool and it looks so awesome. Okay, so picture you walk into a normal toy store, but you're actually here instead of at a normal toy store. This place is crazy. We're walking down here. John's got crazy merchandise. Now, most of this stuff you should take out of the box. This stuff will blow your mind on what it costs. It's absolutely shocking to me. But it's
What's that supposed to mean? This stuff is retail.
But it's retail, but everything is expensive. Toys are just expensive. But when you see some of your toys over here, come on, we got a lot to show them.
Okay, let's show.
Hey, come on.
See, look at this guy's bossy.
Now, I played everybody. I wish this was on right now so you could get
It is.
playing.
Push it.
I was playing this with John's daughter earlier today.
Who won?
I did. I went right back into it.
You beat up on a 4-year-old girl. You're
Right
a
back into
savage.
Warrior Bros. So we got the flags. Look at this. Anybody that grew up like we did, man. This is straight 80s kids right here. Born
Oh,
in the
yeah.
70s, kids in the 80s.
So time out real quick, Denise. I can't see comments. So if there's any comments, you're gonna have to let us know.
Got it.
All right. We're getting into some expensive stuff now. That's why we got the glass cases.
So guys, as well, we just rearranged everything. So you may not have seen it. We did add some more display cases and some more of these H frames. So it looks a little different from last time we did a
Make sure you
video.
hold that camera steady. You're moving a lot.
But you're shaking, buddy.
Guys, tell this man to stand still. All right. This is the Star Wars stuff.
Take a peek, guys, because people are joining there like, what the heck's going on?
Okay, so we're gonna do a reintroduction for those of you joining us now. This is Aaron Taylor with Ridgeside K9.
Virginia in the house in Michigan. We are doing a tour of the toy store right now as a
Layman.
layman. I've been here 3 times. This is my 3rd visit. I've been here when the building was completely run down, basically full of animals and homeless people.
There were no homeless people in here.
And JJ just completely tore this place. It's an amazing story. It's an amazing adventure. We're coming into Star Wars.
Can I quiz you though? Who is this? Who is this?
Yoda.
What?
Stand by. Stand by. Slime Man. Ghostbusters. Where we at?
All right, keep going because you have no idea.
On your back porch.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now we're coming into some more expensive toys.
This is a lot of vintage loose.
Expensive toys. I'm seeing stickers for like $40, $50 and some little stuff. But there's also some very affordable, super cool. I mean, this stuff even brings me back, man. Look at all this incredible haul. This is just awesome. It's just
What, this wall of NECA? Do you know what this stuff is?
I don't know. Tell me about it.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, NECA is the national, I don't know, it stands for something, cinematic, I forget what it stands for, but they do all the movies and
Back
stuff.
to the Future.
It is Back to the Future. It's Doc Brown.
So cool.
National Entertainment Collectors Association. That's what it is.
Okay, if you guys ever make it out here, it's worth the drive. It takes about 3 to 4 hours to walk through the whole store. We can't do it all right now, but let me show you something really important. Okay, this is the best.
We did put a repeater in, so hopefully we're not getting fuzzy. D, are we getting fuzzy? All right, our repeater's working.
All right, check this out, guys.
Check this out, guys.
I just bought this.
I just bought this, guys. Oh, the different kind of repeater. Sorry.
Please shut the. Right. You had 3 in stock. 1 on display, 2 in the boxes. I just bought one. Slow your roll. Look at that beautiful thing. Okay.
Oh, wait. You want me to show it?
I grew up watching Christmas Story. So for those that never experienced that, it's an amazing story.
It's a major award.
And as a little child, I was always fascinated with the leg lamp. Now I own a leg lamp.
You know this thing does turn on, right, Aaron?
Mine will.
It will. No, it turns on. And there's another light in there. Yeah.
Yes.
I need to change up my bulb in the
That's
bottom.
the coolest thing. I have it. It's already loaded up in the car. Pretty cool.
Look at this stuff here. He-Man.
On and on and on. Look at this.
Just like Aaron.
The rear. Look at the rear of this thing.
Slimer's got some booty.
Slimer's got a dump truck. Sweet Lord.
Got some new stuff in, guys. So I'm still kind of working my way through that.
But you really need a couple hours to take it in. A lot of the stuff just brings back memories from being a kid. It's pretty cool. There's stuff that a child could buy and play with. There's tons of collectibles here you'd probably never play with. And then there's stuff here that you actually had as a kid that's like found its way to the shelf. It's so neat. It's so cool. All from a vision, JJ. You made it happen.
That's what we do here. We make dreams come true.
All right.
We just got some boxed, factory sealed mask. I've kind of lost him. We got Spudsy. It's like a hot potato game. We got some Ewoks there. Some new Black Series. We did get a Fennec Shannon and Panda Baba. All right, I think we're going to set up over here, right? Are we getting ready to set up?
Yes.
This is our setup. Look at this. Oh, look at these happy people. All right, let me sit down. I don't know how to turn this thing off on my end, so turn me off.
All right. That was easy. All right. This is what we're seeing. It's very bright. I don't know if it looks that bright to everybody else, but it's very bright on my screen.
You guys ready to go?
What's going on over there?
I was turning my phone on mute.
All right. So I understand.
What do you understand? What we got?
How long have you guys known each other?
Why are these 2 feeds delayed?
It's always bound. They're always
Well,
delayed.
yours is being bounced off of ours.
Anyways,
Anyways, let's.
All right. What's the
Focus.
question?
Focus.
What was the question?
I was asking about how long have you guys known each
Oh
other?
my god, too long. I'm gonna fix this camera because Aaron bumped it and knocked it over.
This is a fact.
All right, so wait. Better.
Up. We're good.
We're good. All right, I'm up. They see me. I'm down.
That's it.
Yeah, remember that Marine Corps?
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm sitting there, but I'm not there yet. Oh my god, who's moving the camera?
There we go.
All right, so Denise is up to date. I've known Aaron since what 2004.
2004. But we got to give a little backstory because
Oh,
everybody knows
gosh.
JJ, but we're putting this on our side
No
too.
one knows JJ. No one calls me JJ.
Oh, what do they call you?
Hey, you jerk face.
So JJ and I were cops together. He was actually my FTO.
I did train this man.
Yes, it's very true. And we wound up hitting it off. We were both Marines. We had very similar paths, very similar directions, and very similar timing when we both left law enforcement. So we're both Marines. We both became cops at the same place. Did my
And
FTO.
now we both sell toys or deal with toys.
Yeah.
I deal with toy action figures, and you deal with toy poodles.
This is very touche. And the friendship developed. It's been a long time. We've both seen the rise and the fall of each other, and trials and tribulations all the way up to I did 16 years. You did 19 years as a cop.
23.
23.
Yeah, I remember I was with Orange first.
Sweet Lord.
Yeah, I'm old.
And now we're both out. We're both entrepreneurs, and we're kind of telling the story. So
Yeah.
All right,
we are at JJ's shop, and you.
Oh, wait a minute. Matthew Fox
Uh-oh, I
Say it
can't
again.
see anything here.
said the reason that you became cops is because you couldn't fight fires.
So all firefighters
Could it
need
be
heroes.
firefighters?
Yeah. Firefighters need heroes too. That's what they call police officers.
okay.
Oh, man. Here we
Back
go.
But we do like hose pullers, though.
Okay.
I can't tell. I can't see it because it's way over there.
Yeah, keep going back a little bit, JJ. Straighten it up.
This is it. All right, technical difficulties as always, guys.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a Sarge Red's after hours unless we
Mess
couldn't
something
figure out
up.
the technology.
Still a little closer to me, JJ.
That's probably a little uncomfortable for you.
Yeah, you're fine. You're
All
fine.
right.
Anyway, so, I mean, you
You're
guys
good
have
on
always
those.
been really tight, right?
Yeah, it's been a long time, man. And
Like, would you say you guys are really close?
I mean, I'm
where's this going?
touching his arm.
Where are you going with this comment? I'm confused.
I'm just saying. Like, I've
Okay,
got
that was
this
New Year's
pictures.
Eve at some point.
And
know
it
what year
looks
that
like
was.
John is sitting on
That
your
looks
lap.
like
It was for what was that
2005?
game you were playing? It was a game where you had to like
Whose
do-
house is that? Is that Whacker's house?
That's
or?
our old house.
No,
in
that
West
was our
Virginia.
old house
Oh, okay.
playing. It looks
It
like
was
dirty Jenga.
It was dirty Jenga.
Yeah.
It was.
So weird. All right, go ahead and take that off, please.
We'll leave it up for the entire time, Aaron. You don't like that
There
picture?
we go.
We have the one where he crashed into the ditch.
Let's just stay focused.
All right, let's stay focused on what the game is here.
What's going on with Sarge Red? Fill everybody in. What is Sarge Red?
Oh wait, you can't interview us on our
it's
channel.
our channel. People know who we are. No one knows who
What?
you are.
I know, but let's just tell me what is Sarge Red's to you. I'm gonna tell you what I think it is. You tell me what you think.
All right, Sarge Red's to me is a simpler time in your life where you can come in and you can have those nostalgic feelings of childhood again, where you could buy some toys, a little bit of happiness, and just kind of it's like Cheers, where everybody knows your name unless I don't remember it.
That was
but
a
I tried.
long mission statement. Holy smokes!
Well, you didn't say mission statement.
Sweet Jesus! All right, so what I think Sargent Red's is a destination toy shop, man. I really believe it. If you guys have never been here, coming out is just it's insane. It's a lot to take in. It's overwhelming tremendously when you walk in, and the behind the scenes aspect of where you guys came from and how this all started that nobody knows about, and like $1 turned into $2, turned into $6,
Did
turned
we ever
into.
really go into our whole story? How we got started?
I mean,
know how
we've
you got
done
started.
it. We've done it a few times.
They
but I
started
don't
with a
know.
duffel bag full of probably what was stolen property. To be quite honest with you,
Wait a
Uh-huh.
second.
that's the real deal.
The statute is gone. We're good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, no,
true.
that's
But
for sure. Hold on, let me turn this down.
that'd be nice.
I can see the comments on my phone. I can't see them all the way over there. Where
They're right
Denise
here.
is. Well,
Big
yours
guy.
are like not up to
Um,
date.
So one of the really cool things about JJ is we were sitting. I'll never forget this in a
Thank
police
you, Matthew.
in-service class right now. It was a police in-service training class, and JJ had just started in eBay business. It was a spinoff of
Oh.
Sergeant Red's, but this was like 2007,
Like-
8, 6. When was this?
2013.
It had to be.
I was
yeah.
off by half a decade. That's okay.
It's okay.
But
Math is
the
hard
vision
for
was there for a
Marines.
long
Math,
time.
yeah,
Math,
that's a
math
fancy-
and Marines doesn't match. But we're in this class, right? And I was going back to school full time at nights at George Washington. JJ started a business, and I think everybody was giving you shit, to include myself.
Yes, everyone's giving me poop.
Yeah.
Because
Why?
They-
Why were we making fun of you?
I was selling toys and magic cards. So we'd be sitting in class and my phone when you had eBay on, it would go cha-ching every time you would make a sale. I'm sitting in class, it's just cha-ching, cha-ching,
So
cha-ching.
that was an
Right.
eye opener, and what he's saying is actually the truth. We were sitting next to each other in service. I don't think we worked together at that time. We were in different units, but we crossed. I think you were already a supervisor at that time.
No, I don't think it was. Yeah, I think it was a CR.
Whatever the hell you were doing.
Yeah.
But our paths crossed, and while I was sitting there making fun of JJ for selling magic cards, he kept getting these alerts on his phone. And I vividly remember this. I said, what the hell is that noise? And he opened his phone up, and you can see these transactions, 278, 331, 642. And I was like,
Bingo.
what are those? And he's like, I just sold $10 worth of cards or you sold a certain amount, but
Whatever
it was like
yeah.
80% was profit. And he said, I said, wait a minute, you just made $10 in like 10 minutes? He was like, yeah. And as we're talking, it's just cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Did the instructor say, hey, put that on mute or
Yeah.
something? Yeah, you want to know what I'm selling, guys.
And, as young cops, that's intriguing, right? It's one of those things you're like, wait a minute, are we making fun of him and laughing at him as friends make fun of friends? Or is everybody getting real serious with what JJ is doing now at some point? And from that thing, what everybody here doesn't realize is that, well, people that are watching don't know you, is that the story behind why you started with the adoption, obviously that's a touching thing, but going from a duffel bag of magic cards to what you see here. And this is nothing, guys. This is one vision. There's a basement to this place that nobody sees. It's packed full. There's multiple storage units packed full. This house is packed full. There's 4 levels to this building, and you can only see this one. All the levels are packed full. So the amount of inventory he's sitting on is insane. The odds of him not having something you want are like slim to none. It's incredible.
I appreciate it.
Don't say this. Eternal Darkness is saying some things. I'm highlighting it, but I feel like you don't want to see it because I don't want it to go to this guy's head.
I can't see. Hold on.
Says
Burn. What?
He said coolest guest ever.
Yeah. Say it again. Say it again.
No,
Very
don't-
swell.
don't
Aaron
say
is-
it
Aaron
anymore.
is- well, he does have
They
a,
just want the dirt on you. That's
he does have a
why.
very large head. Very egotistical.
Well,
There we go.
Don't confuse confidence with what is it saying? Don't confuse confidence with
Me.
Competence.
So we've been hanging. Cheers. We've been catching up, right? So if I'm a little delayed, I don't normally talk delayed. I never do, actually. I have a perfect vocabulary. But when I'm around this guy who's a stand-up comedian,
Vocabulary.
yeah, we're a little behind.
All right, so you guys tell me.
You're behind.
All right. Okay. So so we know our story. Talk a little bit about that, and you're being very nice to us, and I appreciate that.
Well, I'm in your house, so
Smart too, intelligence once in a
Does
while.
Chrissy Clark know you in real life?
Chrissy Clark is our manager, one of our managers for sales and scheduling for Northern Virginia.
Isn't he your favorite like boss ever, Chrissy?
Best boss ever.
Best boss
I am.
Okay, so speaking of, I introduced you a little bit when I was doing like the morning videos to say like he runs a dog training, and I just say
Empire.
I say organization because saying like you're a
I
trainer.
like Empire.
Fine, he's got the dog training empire.
Not really true. We are a small business, for sure.
but like coast to coast, and again to go the other way, the vision and the model is amazing.
We go 100% one way.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Sorry.
okay.
Anyway, continue on.
I misspoke.
Spoken to the world's
So I have to say,
finest.
I remember like
Continue.
Aaron and I, we would like go on like lunch breaks or dinner breaks or whatever. We'd sit there and talk about like running our own business because you were doing
Nonstop.
Ridgeside still while we
Yeah.
were still working. And we'd sit there and talk about,
So
I'm
my
just-
point was I was doing really long. Introduce what you do,
Yes, please do.
and your model and that kind of thing.
Please don't model.
I was going for it. Okay, so first off, for those of you that don't know JJ, I'll say this: please convince this guy to do improv comedy. He could smoke it. He could crush it. He's just a little bit of goofy, crazy amount of emotional intelligence, and enough of like a little bit crazy to where he is funny as shit. A little bit, like as in like it goes up to here.
You know,
But he's hilarious. So anyway,
branches.
yeah. Ridgeside K9. We started in Loudoun County, Virginia, just like JJ did. And it was just a backyard business. And we were trying to find a way to generate revenue to allow for an exit plan. What's that noise in the background? That talk.
Oh, that's a TV. Let me turn off our TV.
Jesus. I can
And
hear like
said,
Nintendo
thank you.
going on. Thank you, Chrissy. I appreciate it. The
Raise. Give Chrissy a raise.
she does pretty well. So think about this. I got all kind of distracted with him walking around.
I know,
So-
it totally threw me off.
Totally
too.
threw me off too.
This
So
thing is too.
Ridgeside K9. It was literally a backyard startup trying to create a revenue stream to give us an option to get out of law enforcement. I love being a cop. 16 years, best time of my life. It was awesome. It was great. But when you start seeing the whole picture, you start seeing the behind the scenes. It's just at some point in time you grow out of it. And when you do that in any job, whether it's law enforcement, the military, or anything else, when your heart tells you it's time to go, you got to go. So we started Ridgeside K9. Again, it was basically a $50 metal crate that started it. And now
Did
we
you
have
buy that crate for me?
no. Now we have 12 locations in 7 states, and
And
it's-
cool.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, we just bought a commercial pool. That was a stupid thing to do. So I don't recommend anybody buy a commercial pool. It's technically not open still. It can bankrupt you really quickly if you're not very careful. We got very fortunate we didn't get bankrupt in the process. But yeah, was that guy talking about my car again?
I'm not. I know. I think it's his other brother. Maybe they're all out there
Okay.
now. We all.
So
know
that's
them.
it, man. That's Ridgeside. It's a
Okay, so it's a bunch of really rough and this was the post that got me the other day that you made about you were doing your MTV Cribs walk through your property.
yeah.
And you were talking about people look at Ridgeside and they're like, oh, it's a bunch of cops and Marines and they're heavy-handed and bruisers and blah, blah. And the reputation, which blew my mind because I thought about it. I'm
Yeah.
like, that is not what I think of at all. I think
What do you
of
think of?
I think like disciplined, squared away, organized, like crisp and clean and above board. Like none of the crazy.
We had some riff
Stuff.
parking lot.
but
Join the conversation. All right, so
that's
So go
that,
ahead.
and so I was just shocked because I don't see that impression at all. So then it's like you have to deal with like addressing, you know.
It's really hard when it comes to the addressing part, right? So we do big business, and that's a relative, very subjective term. We do big business for us. We do big business for the dog business. We don't do big business for tech business, etc. But
Chrissy, why don't you explain it too?
what you want me to explain?
What you guys do?
It's kind of funny. But one thing that that happens is that as you get successful, you will 100% draw attention from people that are less successful or that are hyper jealous. And everybody wants this, right? If I was in toys, I would be like, hey, I want this store, right? And I would assume he did it. he's not smarter than me. I can do it too.
Mhm.
And you guys must be just.
I'm much smarter than you. But anyways, continue.
But it's like I could
could
walk
train
in
you.
and go, this looks simple. I could make it happen, right? But what I didn't know was that there was 15 years almost
Right.
of a startup, right? This didn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
It took 15 years. I can remember the stress when y'all were living in West Virginia. I remember when you quit and moved. I remember all that went into it. And like, this is real shit. This is like real. This is 15 years of coming together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
This
I
wasn't
think-
an overnight thing.
Like what you're saying is like a lot of stuff was planned. Like we'd get collections and stuff, and we'd hold back a lot of the stuff. You know, people are like, oh, how much for this? How much for that? I was like, well, we'll kind of hold that till we get the store open because I wanted to have the best damn store you go into. So we were saving all the really high end stuff, the really like special stuff. So when we opened up, it would be that wow factor when you come in, and I think we've been successful with that.
And that's to where if I was getting into toys, I didn't
You wouldn't
know
understand
your
that,
struggle.
yeah.
But not only would I not understand it, but even if I knew toys, I wouldn't have known that you spent a decade and a half building what you have. So
Yeah.
I'd say, well, I should be able to have this tomorrow. And then when I open and I can't get the inventory, I don't have the connections, I don't know how to buy collections, I have no capital, and I'm like, oh, well, now I'm just going to hate JJ because he's really successful, and I'm not, but they haven't put the 15 years in to get to where you are.
Yeah.
And they haven't been through the adoptions, the career changes. There's so much you guys have done
from
that have
West
come
Virginia
up
to Michigan. And it's not easy. Like
on a
what
whim.
we've done, yeah.
On a whim.
Yeah, basically. Remember, we were up here, we were visiting my parents for something, and I was like, a house is on the market, like just
Yeah,
down the street. and I was
we
like,
just happened
like,
to
let's go
be.
check out this house. I'm like, want to buy it?
Yeah.
We're like, let's
We're
buy
like
this
floating
house.
2 mortgages. Like, this was a stupid idea. What are we doing?
I
But,
remember. It's
but
crazy.
yeah, there's a lot. Even this building, yeah, it was vacant and abandoned for God knows what 30 years.
Yeah.
It's nice now, but look, you guys saw the videos. If you haven't checked it, check it out because we did like all the construction videos. You can see what this place looked like. This place was a disaster. You came here,
Oh, yeah.
it was like you said, there was dead squirrels, there were dead birds.
It was insane.
Yeah, it was nuts.
So how do you guys deal? I know. So that even though we're in separate businesses, right? You guys are in toys, we're in dogs, but it's still you guys have your own niche culture. We have our own niche
Yeah.
culture, right? And you guys have your own toy store competitions, I'm sure.
Yeah, and Toy
And
Stories.
we have dog training company, not competition, but what'll happen is, and the funny part to this in the dog business, right, is that out in the open, a lot of people will be like ride or die for their brand or their team, and they should be. Everybody should be ride or die for your employer or your boss or who's paying you or the company you work for, right? But they'll be so overly negative about other people to the public, but then behind the scenes, everybody talks to everybody.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And it's like what's happened now that I'm in a point where a lot of people apply for jobs from us, and I mean a lot of people. We get resumes from all over the country, and if you're really good, I'll help you move from California or Florida to get to Virginia. We do it all the time. And what happens is, and this has happened with multiple people now, they'll start to target you,
Oh yeah.
talk bad about you, make up things, and then all of a sudden a year later you get a resume from that person, right?
Oh,
And this has happened multiple times, and it's like, no way, like it's done before it starts, right?
Yeah.
And it's this weird thing. And then we deal with the not only do we have kind of turmoil at time within the dog training businesses, subculture of business like dog training, but you also get the subculture of different training methodologies.
Yeah.
And that's where people get crazy and borderline violent, and they're like almost extremists. And it's one of those things where in dog training, there's a lot of different ways to train, right? And people get very locked into one methodology. And if you're outside of that methodology, you're evil or you're abusive or you're this or you're that, right? And that creates like stalkers and threat. I mean, it is insane. I mean, it's
wait, how many
crazy.
stalkers do you have?
As a company? Oh, a tremendous amount.
What did you say?
I said, other than me.
Yeah. But I have a new policy, man. I got sucked into some online drama like 3 weeks ago, and I should have never given these fools the clout. I should have never acknowledged them. I should have never. Chrissy, if she's still on here, she'll tell
She
you.
is.
She's real big about just block, ban, delete. Like, don't engage with it. Just block, ban, delete. And that's one thing I think small business owners, to include myself, struggle with, because somebody will attack you, and you really want to defend what you're doing.
You want to defend your business, you want to defend your company, you want to defend your people and yourself.
But all you're doing is giving them a platform. And in our
Yes.
case, a lot of the people that want to get on our platform, they're much smaller or not known at all, or nobody knows who they are. So they'll attack us, hoping that I'll
Get some.
go on there
give
and
them a
say
little bit of
something
a little clout.
just to put them on our platforms. And that's a tough one.
So it's funny because there's dog training drama. There's toy store drama. Guys, I did not realize how much drama was in the toy world. You know,
surprising.
It's nuts. You think that, okay, you're selling toys, but you get, again, I think it goes to people get extremely jealous, you know, of perceived slights or perceived whatever, perceived success, whatever you want to call it. They I don't, like with the dog training stuff, I think it's jealousy. Like they see what you're doing and they see that you're successful and what you have going on.
So tell people now then, tell me now, take anything positive away and say this. What are the stuff that people don't see? You know, with this store, no, with you in the store specifically, like what do they don't see?
For what, 7 months? I've had 4 days off in 7 months, other than the 2 days I was sick. So if you guys came in last weekend, I wasn't here because I was sick. But other than that, you know, it's just been you're working hard. I'm here from like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm normally here till 9 o'clock at night. Right. And then it's new inventory comes. You're hunting down collections. You're cleaning collections. You're sorting collections. You're doing all this work. It's not just like standing behind a register going, "Hey, how you doing? Let me bring you up and give you all this money." It's not how it works.
Right.
Oh, you just sold 15 of this figure or this brand. Well, you get the stuff from a distributor. You're not making $50 on it. You're making, if it's a $20 item, you might be making $5-6. It's not like it looks like, oh God, you're crushing it. And yeah, I feel like we're doing really well, and I feel like we're crushing it as far as this has exceeded our expectations, or my expectations anyways.
Yeah.
But it's not as easy as it looks. It's the same with I remember when I worked for the sheriff's office, people would be like, "Oh, you got that easy eBay money coming." It's like, easy? Yeah. There's nothing easy about
never sleeping.
Yeah. I don't remember how many.
And your card catalogs back then were just.
I still have them.
Really? Where are they?
My house.
They're behind the boxes in the.
So funny.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you get other competitors that are just they get mad. They get it's like it doesn't make sense to me. Like some of these people, like they seem like normal people, and you talk to them and you work and have a working relationship with people, and then all of a sudden like that they flip and they like just like they turn into these like vicious just.
Well, I think part of it is it's tied to your livelihood, right? So as soon as it's like they feel like something's targeted to their core ability to survive. So like they turn people.
But it's funny, like the same people that would turn on a small business like us, they don't care that Walmart and Target would carry the same products. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like we literally have a toy store 40 feet north of us. Mm-hmm. I don't care. You know what? Good for you. It's good for a collector. If I don't have something, go up there and check it out. But at the end of the day, you know, is he my competition? Yeah. Do I care? No, because I'm going to do the best I can do no matter what. It doesn't matter that someone's there and I think they're my competition. I don't care. Because Denise and I are going to come here every single day and try to make this the best damn toy store for you guys, the customers. And again, like I was saying earlier, we have these products that we sell that we're only making a couple bucks on. But, you know, we have it in stock. You don't have to drive around to 15, 16, 17 different stores trying to find it.
Right.
And that's the part, like when I look at this, when we've talked about even, you know, making this business bigger than what it is, but it's like, how do you control inventory? And that just goes back to, it's all fun until it's your bank account, your everything if you lose this business, you lose your house most likely. I mean, it's all wrapped up together at some point, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's where it gets serious. How do you guys choose when it comes to online stuff about, like, maybe you can answer this, Dee, because you do a lot. How do you choose who you just immediately block, ban, delete versus who you engage with when they're being inappropriate or aggressive?
So that's a great question, because I just had a conversation with somebody about this the other day, where there's been comments that have been negative, but like I don't know about them because somebody's already like snapped on them immediately, so I don't know they happen. Yeah. So we've got, Matthew Fox, the fabulous Mr. Fox. He's amazing. So he moderates for us when we do these, and helps. We have a group. We have like a whole team of people actually that like that's what they do. They watch our online backs essentially.
Yeah, we're doing business. A lot of times we can't even post online. I'll post pictures of new stuff, and Denise will do her videos. And
Which your videos are crushing.
Thank you.
You have to say it right now.
Good evening, all you beautiful toys.
That's what your shirt says, right?
It does say that actually.
So, yeah,
it's a tough one. So what we started doing was we have a new tactic to where if I go to my Instagram here, which we're not going to show the camera, but I'll show you. So if you go to my requests, and you'll see, stand by. Hold on.
I see a baseball.
Somebody throwing a baseball. So if I go to my requests, you see all these restricted accounts in here? Restricted account, restricted account, restricted account, restricted account.
You blocked all them?
I don't block them. I restrict them. They can still watch the show, but they can't comment or do anything else.
Oh,
so
do they know that?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
But it drives them absolutely mad. what'll happen is people will come on the platform and they'll talk this crazy talk, and I just restrict their account. So they can still watch everything, but they can't comment. I can see their comments, but nobody else can see their comments.
Nice.
And it drives them absolutely
We haven't
mad.
had a lot of it online, knock on wood. But like it's just it's the people that are within like the 20 miles of us that are other toy stores. It's just
Well, the funniest part to me,
nuts.
because these are all dog trainers on here. These are all dog trainers, always restricted ones, right?
Yeah.
So what'll happen is though, they'll come on your platform, verbally assault you, threaten you, say crazy stuff. And the thing is, like I tell people, like, you're not a gangster and I'm not a child. So like, be careful with the loose speak, because like if we cross paths, like it could be a real problem. You know what I mean? And people do that stuff. Like they get so crazy, and it's like, don't talk yourself into this false sense of security. You know what I mean? Like you get like these threats that come online. So what we do now is we restrict them, which makes them even more mad, because now they can watch, but they can't comment or say anything back. So then they'll start messaging me like, and this is where I'm like, these people are delusional. It's like, this is supposed to be an open debate platform. And I'm like,
Oh, jeez.
it's a business
Private
page
business
and I make
page,
money
yeah.
on here. So like, what do you mean open debate platform? Like we pay a lot of money for this stuff. Like
Right.
bye.
Yeah.
You know? It's pretty funny.
We have a pretty good online community, I think. I mean, between YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Insta. I mean,
Yes,
you
the-
guys are awesome. I'll tell you right now.
The
you guys are
Sarge
awesome.
Red's army is the best.
Matthew, you do have a very powerful band hammer. You're like Thor. Only you can lift it, sir.
Oh my gosh.
So Denise, tell us your
Speaking of
side.
Sergeant Red Army, Denise, what have we got? What's going on for the next 10 days?
Oh,
I know
okay.
6 days. It's almost up.
It's very soon. This is what I keep asking the army to
sharp.
mobilize for. We're in the finalists for the best of the best out of the Macomb Daily Readers' Choice Awards. There's actually a few more categories, but the big ones are the family-owned business, a toy shop, and the unique store.
Super sharp.
Somehow we made
Thanks.
the cut for antique top 5 and resale top 5.
Yeah.
But hey,
Look how different our screens look in those color settings. That's wild.
computer.
They are.
Yeah.
And we both have Microsofts.
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know.
Interesting. All right, so tell us your side right now. So I'm just curious from because you're still double dipping, kind of like you have a full-time job.
Why would you put it that way? That sounds like terrible. So I do, though.
That's
and
what they
it's-
call it. When you have like one source of income and you're stacking it with two sources of incomes.
Oh, okay.
So how's that for you? I mean, he doesn't have time off, but you're also working like legit around the clock.
It's yes. Thank
So
you.
you mean
Thank
you're-
you for appreciating that.
You mean you're not the normal smiley like this in real life all the time?
I am most of the time, actually.
Good.
Most of the time.
So how is that for you with this transition of like moving out here? You still have your full-time job.
Yeah, I've been really lucky that the job I've worked forever since like 2015, I think, has been remote, and they're amazing. So I've been very lucky with that.
Yeah.
Definitely challenging balancing things a little bit now, because being here open at the shop and it going as well as it has been,
Yeah.
it's been more about like immediate things being pulled on my attention, like this guy over here.
You gotta get one of those mask things on. Like, remember we were doing those videos before, like the thing? You got to find one of those. That'd be hilarious. So, but how are you maintaining? Because the true story is, right, you have
I scream into pillows.
you have two kids, you have a house, this JJ, which is his own thing you got to supervise. You got this business, which is all encompassing on. I mean, I know how much behind the scenes goes into running a brick and mortar, and like I was telling you, like this place stresses me out because there's so much in here, and there's so much cataloging and inventory, and I know him well, so I asked when I first came in,
How do you do it? Where's it?
Does he do most of this in his head? And she was like, yeah, most of this is all in JJ's head.
It is. It's
And
kind of scary.
it's incredible. Like, I mean, you're probably the autistic side. It comes out sometimes. Yeah. Yes.
I'm very, very.
Wow.
But that's what it
Here we
takes,
go.
though, right? So, like, JJ has this thing, and it's like, look around this place. Like, who else could do this? It's like Rain Man shit. Like, I don't know how to.
He's not wrong. He's not
I don't
wrong.
know,
because
but he sells himself short all the time. That's what I mean. It's like, it's crazy.
because that's why do you think we always ask you where, and you get frustrated with people sometimes because you're like, why don't you know this? It's like, you
Yeah.
have a superhuman
He does
brain.
that stuff all the time. He used to be in a car and he'd be like, what is the code violation.
Yeah,
and
I was going to bring it up, the codes.
I'm like, hold up, JJ. You have that weird thing with numbers. You can remember all that stuff. Nobody else can.
It's 5.3.22a
Yes,
remove B.
that was him all the time. I'd be like, you're
They
so
probably
weird.
still use the cheat sheet I made.
I guarantee it. I guarantee they use the same cheat sheet. I guarantee it. But that's what I mean. That weird ability in your head to like with numbers and memorization and like the way you do stuff, even like the way you were with like tickets and codes and like it's here. Like this is what the transfer was.
Oh,
like,
that's a good way to put it.
it is like it's all around us. It's
Yeah.
crazy, and it's awesome. Like it's insane.
Vince, the place does change daily. I mean, we put new stuff out, but I'm trying to figure out how to squeeze as much stuff in here without making it like cluttered and disgusting. Like you go to some places, it's like an indoor flea market almost, and I don't want that atmosphere. I want this to be somewhere.
It
where
doesn't look anything like that. The only thing I think
no,
you
I-
need, like I said, is more space, but I don't know how you get it.
Yeah.
bulldoze the neighbors.
Mm.
Just kidding, neighbors.
We may or may not have had that conversation.
So,
If there's a building I'm looking at, I won't say what it is. Like, man, I want to buy that building. And he's like, yeah, you do it right. I was like, she's like, I was like, yeah, we should buy it. Is it for sale? No.
But that's
that could be the whole town council.
That's
spot,
both
though.
of you. Didn't I have a conversation with you the other day too? Like, you guys are dangerous because you think, you know what would be cool if
Yeah,
I
that's a bad way to
did
start.
this,
I do it all the time.
and then
Puts me in
it's
so
like
much trouble.
it's done. Like I'm just thinking about it, and like literally within 5 minutes, like it's non-negotiable that it's happening. Like I've committed to something.
What do you think going from sergeant when you were responsible for probably up to 20 people at one point?
Probably.
Yeah. So when you were sergeant, you had squad, and you had about 20 people underneath of you.
What?
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but you
Not
don't
happening.
count it as guest until you eat an atomic
Not happening.
peanut.
We could do that. Let's go get a peanut.
Zero chance. I'm not eating nothing called atomic anything.
What's up, Guido?
That's not happening. But look, so you were a sergeant and you were responsible for about 20 people. What was harder, being a sergeant responsible for 20 people or opening up a brick and mortar exploding?
Ooh.
So- It depends. Were you working that day or you out sick?
Oh, I don't have to. You don't have to count me.
He's talking
You know-
about me.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I think this. I mean, yeah, well,
I would say by
this
like
is,
100
yeah.
times.
I mean, yeah, there was the intricacies of like trying to balance like 20 different people and dealing with what they had to deal with and training them and teaching them and make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do and doing things the right way. And
What
then
would you?
there's this.
Were you a trainer?
Oh, God.
You weren't very motivational as a trainer.
I motivated the heck out of you.
No, you motivated the heck out of me. Some people you didn't motivate.
Oh, some people didn't like me,
You
but I
were-
held them to the standard, like that they had to do the right thing. You know, do
You
your
were-
job the right way. No,
A little bit.
I was pretty by the book.
We should bring Ryan on here.
He's
It has Ryan's opinion on you.
No, Ryan is a
Oh,
great
baby.
guy. I
It's
miss
gonna.
working with Ryan.
That would be
But,
hilarious.
You know, this is different. This is like you're working for yourself. You know, you make it. You
So
break
what's more stressful?
it.
Honestly, no
100%.
question, right?
This is I mean,
Yeah.
this is more stressful. If I come to work and I don't do a good job and we don't make it work, then you know what? I have to eat my life. I will cook you in.
What?
and start. God.
You got to have these. Let people know though. This is a good vibe. That was so weird.
Yeah, that is.
You got stuck. That's why you got to get this guy improv. Like, if you guys actually knew JJ when he just lets loose and talks, he is funny.
Oh, that's
Like,
true. He
he
does
is
dial it back
funny.
for the masses, but
They
yeah.
don't know the behind the scenes way he talks. Like, he could do improv in a heartbeat. Like, if it was a topic he was comfortable with, he would
100%.
crush everybody else.
Wait, I'm talking like Taylor now. 100%.
He would crush it.
What else is he? That's Aaron.
That was old Justin Payne relic. So I get asked that a
Someone
lot.
asked if my mind goes 1,000 miles per hour as well. Yes, it never stops.
Oh, JJ, he's more intense than I am.
Wait, can I
100%.
vote on this? Can I interject? I get phone calls every 10 minutes. D, did you da? Honey, I've got
You
it. It's
got a
on
lot
my
of stuff
list.
going on.
And
I
then
mean,
like 10 minutes later, oh, I just remembered. Did you do? I'm like
I will
constant
be
to do
talking
list.
about something that we
Yeah,
need
but
to get done,
look
and
at-
then I will remember something else and forget what I was just talking about and start talking about something else.
I think that's
Did you
that
guys see
goes
this-
back to your brain. I'm telling you, you have a unique brain that allowed you to create millions of dollars out of a bag full of cards. I don't know how you did it to this day. I don't know how you did it.
I'm still trying to figure it out myself.
I don't know how you created this. That's a crazy thing, man. Like, I get asked that a lot about Ridgeside when somebody will walk in like our Winchester store and it's like big, beautiful, like, massive space, and they're like, "How'd you do this?" And I'm like, I have no idea, and I don't know what I'm doing tonight, and I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow morning, but I know right now we're in it. So like we just got to focus on like being in it.
You just have to
You know what I
deliver
mean?
right the second.
That's it, and it's crazy.
It's nuts to think that we went from selling on eBay, and now we
Mm-hmm.
have 3 employees,
That's weird when I think about that too. I'm like,
So you should have about 10 employees for what you have going on here, but you guys choose to cover about 20 hours a day of shifts yourself. You could probably support
We've only
like
been open
6.
for 7 months, so right now I want to get my whole full year behind me and see where we're at.
Yeah.
But we do have some cool events coming up, Denise. Tell them what they've got going on, Denise.
Tell them what they.
Tell 'em what they've won.
Sugar, I'm missing.
And who wants to see a Sarge Reds in Northern Virginia?
Woohoo!
This
You
guy
gonna run
does. I mean, we ain't going to run it, but
Why not?
we'll invest and help with the ideas. we'll hire staff at that one so that we can have a team running it.
Oh,
This
I
is
wanna
true.
get
Matthew
the
is our
one. Wait a
fourth,
second. I'm going to share my
employee.
screen. We have like.
But we try to do events here. We want this to be a destination, like Aaron was saying in the beginning. I mean, we have Phil Stone coming, June 28th? 6th?
When's it coming?
June 26th?
June 26th from 4 to 7
And if you
p.m.
guys don't know, the illustrative Philip Stone draws Magic the Gathering cards as well as other stuff. So we got the newest set of Baldur's Gate in.
Was he the one drawing the picture like that guy?
Yes.
I saw that on your thing.
Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah.
Is that auction's over, right? Like people were bidding on his original art?
Yes. So he just auctioned off, and I know some interesting trivia about this. It is a
Probably
hand-
something boring you're about to say. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You can have him.
forget it. Never
You
mind.
can't
Anyway,
assault on camera?
Dude.
Michigan has first
Dude, he's got
primary-
this really cool piece of art that he drew with a bunch of markers, and it's after one of the cards in the set, and he just sold like the original at the highest
What did it
rate
go for?
it's come
I
for.
was gonna say, what's it worth?
$675 for a
Oh.
black and white dragon.
I would have bid 7 on that if I wouldn't have fallen asleep last night.
But it was one of the highest pieces
cool.
of art made after the card set that has
Come
been
on,
sold.
spit it out.
Anyway, so yeah, no, it's amazing. It's really good. So it's actually like really cool that this dude is like
Phil's a really cool guy. Like the first time I met
hanging
him,
at
I
our
was here
shop.
doing construction. I don't remember. And I just see this guy walking in the parking lot, and he's like, "Hey!" I was like, "Yes, can I help you, sir?"
dude.
I used to have a magic card store over there, and I'm an artist. Let's do a signing when you guys get open. And we just started talking. We became fast friends, and he comes here a lot. So,
You have that effect on people, man. You bring out you really do bring out the good in people. You always have. The what's the next big business thing
not
for
doing
Sergeant
it.
Reds?
the next big event we're doing.
No, I don't care about that. What's the
Business
next
thing?
like business move for Sergeant Reds?
Right now, like I said, we just started. We've been here for 7 months. I think we've been killing it. I want to kill it for a year.
Well, hold on. Tell us what you mean when you say that. When you
we
say
first
killing
started,
it.
I thought we were
No. Define killing it. Like not numerical value on something. I'm not saying
doing.
that,
I think we've been more successful than I had anticipated.
but- so you're profitable.
Yes, I think we've been much more successful than I thought we were going to be. I thought the first year, because what is most businesses, it takes them-
99% go out of business in a year. Small business person.
Yeah. So and then we sell toys. It's not a
Yeah.
it's not a necessity. It's a luxury item.
It is a luxury.
I
yeah.
think it's a necessity. Please, it's a necessity. If you don't have toys, you might die.
It
So come in here and buy some toys.
So you guys will not find. I mean, maybe there's some people, but this guy's like a walking encyclopedia.
By the way,
toys.
Vince, I agree with you. This is the direction, but I haven't gotten my part yet.
Media expansion.
Yes.
We need-
Yeah, I agree. I've been saying it to you guys for a
Content
long
and
time.
like
Content.
We're doing this.
I
like,
mean, I
after
might
hours
have been
thing.
told a couple times I should like open a couple sites for myself a day.
Sweet Jesus.
Wait, what's that called? OnlyFans?
No, not
I
OnlyFans.
was like, good God, man.
Anyway,
We do
So-
want to go ahead there.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't remember what I was going to say.
Ladies first.
Denise.
Denise.
whoa, dude.
No, what I was saying was, so you're killing it, meaning you're not out of business.
This is good. Yes.
You are able to give 3 people hourly compensation.
Wait,
Which
we're
is
supposed to
hard.
pay these people?
No,
Oh
I
my
agree.
God.
We didn't mention anything about that.
Hell of a business plan there.
Yeah, it works. Right?
So what's the next move though, as far as what I mean? Like, have you looking at any expansions, new locations? Hiring
right
more
now-
staff so you guys can maybe step away a little bit at some point.
So for me, like right now, it's still my baby. So
Yeah.
it's hard for me not to be here. Like Shane comes in on Mondays, and Shane, man, guy kills it.
Yeah.
He
Shane's-
knows toys.
Shane
So
is
the collection walks
fantastic.
in, Shane can buy a collection. Shane knows his stuff like the back of his hand. He knows a lot of stuff about toys, almost as much as me, I would say.
For sure.
Maybe more in certain areas. That's not true, Shane.
Trash or treasure?
Yeah,
So-
exactly. But yeah, it's like I would love to be able to get it to where I could step away, but that's like more of a mental thing for me because I like having control of the shop because it's still new to me. This is still our baby. We've
Yeah.
just been open for 7 months. Would you put a 7-month-old?
I agree.
In the world
So I
by
think-
himself?
Where I was going with that is I think there's a big misconception amongst other cops that we know, and amongst a lot of other people, just that when you start a business, you make money right away, and then you can just take a bunch of time off and sit on a beach and just hang out and blow money left and right, and life is easy. And I think that's a real shame and a real sham of it's none of that stuff. It's crazy stressful, and it's a stress that most people couldn't even possibly like understand. You know what I mean? Like it crushes you, right? But I think for some people, like the way, because our heads, even though I talk a lot of trash to JJ about his brain, we're very similar on how our brains operate. So this is his thing. I don't understand it because it's not my thing, but my thing is similar in scope and volume, but it's a different topic, right? So I think it's a lot harder than people realize. And I think it's a lot more stress than people realize. And it's like,
it is.
All the business owners that I know that I talk to regularly in these different groups, the one thing that I can really say, in my opinion, whether it's toys or a plumber or dogs or whatever it is, successful business owners have to be able to process and compartmentalize very high amounts of stress on a daily basis and just work through it.
I think the one thing that's nice about our prior jobs is we did have to deal with it and compensate with stress. You know, like
every day,
compartmentalize it.
Every day.
It's just like you go to work, you do your thing, you come home, and you're like, all right, kind of flush it out of your brain. It never really goes away. You know what I mean? But it's there. You think about it still, but you have to try to do that. So I think the stress aspect of that's helped with that. You know what I mean? Like Denise, I think will get frazzled over small stuff. I'm like, okay, we got to do this.
Never happens.
I got this. I'm like, hey Denise, can you send an email to the distributor? Oh God, I had to eat something today, and I got to get the email. Oh God. Basically.
Can we talk about like the mother's like mental load a little bit here? Do we want to go down that road?
The father's mental load.
Oh, here we go.
So that's all real stuff though. So like for example, on my side, you know, our kids are older than your kids, obviously, but on our side, like my wife just retired, so she was just. I mean, you guys know my wife, obviously. You guys work with her, right? So like you know, Colette just retired, and she went from having a full time, you know, mentally important job to being nothing, right? So she's struggling with that.
Wait.
Wait.
Why would you say she's nothing? She like your number two?
No, of course. Hold on, you let me finish. She is struggling with what's her identity, right? So obviously she owns half of Ridgeside.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But it's does she want to really step into a full-time role there? Does she want to start her own business? Does she want to she doesn't want to do nothing. I mean, that's never going to make anybody. But
so she's like dealing with that retirement
it's that transition,
step and
right? Of like just retiring, and then what do you next? You guys are still in the transition of stepping out of one job with kids. It's all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now let me ask you this though, because we talked about the stress and what you got going on. How do you deal with that?
I sell toys.
No, that's the easy answer.
I do play with toys.
Okay. So that's your like little mental step away.
You know, it's just like I like to have fun. Like I know it is stressful having this job, but you know what? Honestly, and this might sound silly, but one of the things that is like helps deal with that for me is like when people come in and they're like, "Oh my God, this place is awesome!" and hearing people so happy seeing something that we built, and like talking with people about their collections, and that
makes
actually
you feel good.
It does. It's like okay, I'm doing something to make other people happy, and that is like a stress relief on me.
100%.
It's also it's a double-edged sword because part of it's like, shit, well, I gotta do something to make people happy now.
Yeah.
I gotta get some good toys in here. Let's keep this going. And we do buy collections, guys. So if you have vintage toys you want to sell, we do travel all over the country. Or if you know people, let us know.
And I've been on pickups.
You did. I remember the first. That was actually a funny story. I wish we had that video on here we could put up. But the first time, I think it was right before we moved to Virginia.
Yeah.
Or from Virginia here.
From West Virginia to here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Aaron, I'm getting ready to leave. Come roll with me. See how we do this.
That was a good time.
Yeah. So we were like, where'd you go? We went from Ridgeside, because I think I picked you up.
It was in Maryland somewhere.
And then we went to Baltimore, and then we drove to DC. And Aaron's like videotaping me as I'm doing this deal. He goes, "This is a drug deal. What's going on?" He's like, "I'm like picking up these arrests."
We were like going to random corners, meeting people at the trunks of their cars. Home Depot parking lot. JJ's dealing all in cash. We're getting all this. I'm like, what the world is going on?
Where'd you bring me?
This is insane. But that's just how you started, though.
Man,
but you didn't answer my question, though. So as small business owners, like, and I don't have an answer for this, so there is no right or wrong answer because I'm not an example of how to do it correctly. How do you or do you not deal with like the stress of 7 day a week, 10 to 16 hours a day that never turns off? You're on your phone 24/7. You're on your laptop 24/7. You're on your feet 24/7. How do you deal with that constant state of like hyper awareness and stress?
I think it's just, you know what? We kind of play off each other. I mean, I don't think I could do this by myself. You know I talk smack. It's like, don't she's just like freaking out. But like, honestly, at the end of the day, she carries half the load. I carry half the load. I think we do better as a team.
Yeah.
You know, and having someone by your side that you guys can, you can trust and count on to be there for you, it makes the world of difference. It really does. So I have to give Denise props for that. And I did notice Will is the reason he keeps coming back, but this is the true reason you keep coming back. Will. Hold on, wait.
Get him,
I
John.
have something for you, William.
Get well. He asked me today if we need Star Wars, and I have an answer for him.
You know, this is the true reason that you come back to Sarge Red.
I think it is.
So
I think we got your number.
I think him and Matthew Fox are probably the two biggest Star Wars people I know. Aaron loves Star Wars.
I do.
Spock is his favorite Jedi.
I like Star Wars. I don't know any of the characters or anything, but I like Star Wars.
Yeah, clearly.
I
You called Jabba the Hutt Yoda.
That's true.
That was great.
Monster.
That was great. Matthew
Get
Fox
the
is over
stars.
here like, what? They let him in the store.
Jess asked if we knew anything about the Longbow Kickstarter. I'm not even familiar with that. I'm not sure what it is. So
I feel like we should know. 1980s Cold War themed original figures. I don't know. Send us what you know so we can get educated.
Yeah, so what Matthew said right there is true, but it's still kind of tough, right? So what he said is running a small business is routine. Once you get down the routine, it comes natural. What adds to the stress is when something out of the ordinary happens. It's
Pretty
true.
much. Until you have to figure out what the routines need to be.
Yeah, it's in every business presents different challenges to that statement. It's very hard in our business because we're dealing with so many variables as far as client, dog, trainer, business, and they all have different aspects to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like one glitch in that and you have a problem. For our problems, it always comes back to communication breakdown. But I would say that I don't know. I do feel a lot of stress. Like I feel stress every day. Like
Are you
there's
stressed
days,
right now?
No,
Sitting between me and Denise?
I'm a little concerned about my safety at times. All right, live on camera. I'm liable to strike like a ninja, and something bad's gonna happen. This table's gonna get flipped. Camera's gonna go dead. Who knows what's gonna happen? I felt good that you were hitting right where that. I have those 3 cadaver bones.
Wow, you too.
No, because I have those 3 cadaver bones right there, and he was just pressing on that one.
So
little
you're like a
cadaver
zombie.
bone. I think it's actually. I don't know if it's human or pig bone. I forget.
So you're either human or bovine.
Yeah,
Bovine.
Bovine. What
Is
the
that a cow?
Oh, it
Jesus.
is. I think
Didn't
it
you
is.
So,
grow up on a
JJ
farm?
and I actually read a lot, and we actually have a pretty good vocabulary. But Denise is the most educated
I was
one.
done there
And
with
she
the
just
college.
confused the cow with the.
The dog says meow. Denise grew up on a farm. She should know the difference between a pig and a cow.
Good job, Denise. You messed everything up.
We
Wonderful.
should just
I'm
put this in
leaving.
typing.
You guys are
Now.
on your own. See how you fare.
What's up,
That's
Better Call
it.
Mall?
Yeah, this will all get shut off. On
Matthew does have some cool jewelry, so check him out. Matt, if you have your link, throw it in there.
Oh, I have it on.
Denise is wearing it.
I am rocking a Matthew Fox original bracelet that he made live for me one night.
That's cool.
So,
What
yes.
kind of watch is that? Apple Watch?
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
I don't like the Chinese on my stuff.
Samsung.
Samsung.
Fine. And he was doing cool videos, so you might need to learn from him a little bit about like whatever
What's
that
your
cool
video
video
on?
was.
I got the new phone.
Is that the S21 Ultra?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got it. I just traded. I had the one that
That's all.
opened up.
You said it back of it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the new.
I just got it like a week ago.
That's cool. That's got an awesome video.
With
going
your petty old phone.
on. I know.
Don't start on Apple, Chrissy. Apple's a fruit. I have an Android. What would win in a battle?
We got a robot, son.
I know, right?
Oh
Who's
my
gonna win that
gosh.
war?
Apple's like, right.
That's hilarious, man.
Thank you, Will, for the Samsung for the win. I say Matthew said when he was a firefighter, there was no such thing as routine call, which is true. And Matt was at Ground Zero, so
Yeah.
much props to him for having to deal with that stuff. I was in Arlington County when the plane hit the Pentagon, but I didn't have to actually go to the Pentagon. I worked for the sheriff's office down in Arlington at the time.
So Chrissy corrected us. So Chrissy is a nurse.
She's also saying that you've got 3 Apple products.
I buy employees what they want.
Oh,
Ask her. That's true.
it's a good
Buy whatever you want.
answer. It's a good answer.
She likes Apple. I don't care what she uses, as long as she has to have a phone, she has to have a laptop, she has to have a tablet. Gotta have it.
Okay.
But
Sounds like a good boss.
I'm not into Apple because I don't like the Chinese running everything I do. I prefer the Koreans, and that's Samsung. So yeah, that's me.
That's you.
I like the operating system on my Samsung.
100% better.
Oh, yeah, because
Apple's
we
junk.
had the
Now let's check in on the kids on the live chat.
Oh, yeah, no, remember you were gonna watch them. Thanks. How'd the recital go? Yeah, the Apple is not very complicated. It's very, I don't know. I like the Samsung, but let's go back to talking about small business.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
we should like.
All right. So my next question for you guys, what was in a simple answer?
He get to
How are
interview
you
us
because he's in the middle seat.
Because I'm the driver's seat. You guys are the passengers.
dude.
Clearly,
All
I'm here.
right.
I've seen Aaron drive.
Wait. I
Trust
didn't get
me.
to tell
You
you.
don't want to be in the passenger seat with this guy.
We've been in a couple crashes. Listen,
I
and
think I
there's
have a
no.
picture of you crash into a
Listen,
ditch on
hold
a
on.
construction site.
It is impossible to do real police work without complaints and crashes. If you're doing real police work, you will crash some cars and you will get some complaints.
I
I've
did crash
crashed-
into a fire hydrant once.
I've
I saw
crashed
some
a lot of
suspicious
cars.
activity. And I was driving. I was trying to my spotlight, and I somehow I sideswiped like very slowly a fire hydrant.
You
Do you know
slowly
the
sideswiped
funniest
it.
story of a crash? Man, I'll never forget when Chris Hines, old retired Lieutenant Colonel Hines, but he's retired. It's all good. Chris pulled up to us at Ashford. This would have been like 07, 06. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he pulls up next to us and like the pump from the old Ashford pump was still in his car. He was driving all the way down Ashford Village, all the way down the boulevard, all the way through like what were those?
Cheltenham Circle.
Yeah, what was the apartments across from that? You know?
Dodge, Tillman.
No.
I know what you're talking about. I can't
Okay,
remember.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Blossom Hill? I don't know.
Everybody here is really interested in the
Okay,
geographic.
Anyway, so this whole lieutenant colonel, he was a sergeant at the time. He pulls up to talk to us, and I'm like, "Hey, man, there's something in the back of your car, and it's the gas pump." It was like the funniest thing. If you knew the guy, you would know why it's funny, but it is
He was
hilarious.
very spastastic.
His nickname was the Hurricane. 'Cause
That's
he would
funny
come
because
to
that's Denise's nickname.
he'd come to any scene and just stir it all up,
I
make
don't know
great time.
anybody
Aaron,
that
Chrissy
does
asked,
that.
what is your end goal for Ridgeside K9?
End goal.
Like, are you going to sell it to Chrissy?
You can sell to me?
Everything's for sale. I mean, that's small business, right? No, I don't. So the mission statement of Ridgeside, Ridgeside K9 is providing veterans, disabled veterans, and prior police officers with entrepreneur and employment opportunities. So
And that is the point I wanted to make sure you made. Thank you.
that's our mission statement. It's not even about dogs. I mean,
That's what I mean. Your organization is built on principle.
Yeah, so
Principle.
dogs for us are a source of revenue, and dogs for us are how we make money. But that's not our mission statement. So we've done that. You know, all of our locations are owned by a veteran or a police officer, which is cool. When you look at the greater Ridgeside footprint, I mean, there's a couple hundred people on the payroll combined for
Jeez.
Virginia and Winchester, which I own direct. I mean, we have almost 57 people that have a job there at this point. So
That's amazing.
it's pretty crazy. So I don't know what the direction is, because the reason I'm saying that is I don't know how we got here. Like, I have no clue. Like, I don't know what you were just talking about as far as like an idea. Like, I kind of think this will work. Like,
And then it just happens.
that's what happens. And it's like
Yeah,
the
I
difference
know.
is in life. It's like some people, and this is no dig on anybody at all, but you have to be a little bit crazy to risk everything for an idea. And you know, just like JJ has, like, I've put it all on the line multiple times. Where like, if I lose everything, everything, career, house, everything can be gone. And thank God we didn't lose. Right?
You think about it, you went from a stable job where you had a steady paycheck
A stable 6-figure job with insurance and retirement and all that stuff.
to, you know, dog training, and I went to, you know, selling toys and dealing with the nostalgia and the wonder of the toy store. But yeah, it is scary to walk away from that, because a lot of people think about it. How many people left
Very
the
few.
sheriff's office and then came back?
Oh, tons. Yeah.
Lots of them. They left to go do other.
really?
There was one guy, I don't remember his name, he went to go open a pawn shop. Did that, and they came back, you know?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or like, I mean, God love him. I love him to death. Kevin Zeldua. I mean, he left 6-7 times and came back 6-7 times, right?
I love Kevin.
I love Kevin too.
Went,
He's like I'm going on this adventure, and I'm going to come back home.
Yeah.
And then I'm going on
he went
another
overseas and
adventure.
did the contracting and stuff like that in Afghanistan. So
Dude's
Yeah,
a
but it's-
badass.
He's a good guy.
he looks like The Rock, only smaller, so
He's
we
a
call him the Pebble.
Yeah.
I love Kevin Salzio.
But it's like, I never went into it with a backup plan, though. I was never a plan B as far as like, I'm going to go back to, it was never. It was
Like when you made the leap, you were like all in.
all in. So when I resigned, it's a true
Scorched
story.
earth on the way out.
Yeah, when I resigned, it's a true story. And John Buckman was the guy I resigned to, so he could welcome to come on and call me a liar. I resigned at 2:00 in the morning after a really busy night. It was a great night. We had a couple fights, couple stabbings. I was running all night long with the dog, just call.
You call it a great, and I'm like, greatness. I'm like, nothing's going on. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a great night. And it was just a normal busy, it was a Friday or Saturday night. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a normal busy night in the county. And running all over. And I was about 2:00 and I was like, what am I doing? Like, Ridgeside at that time was making a decent amount of money. And I'm like, I'm chasing pennies, risking my life, and I'm turning away dollars because I'm not committing to the business, right? I resigned that night. I never went back to work ever. I didn't want to be the cop on 2 weeks' notice, like I get in a bad shooting or a bad pursuit or something bad happens. I didn't want to give the county or the department any ammunition used against me once I retired, like start nitpicking things. So I resigned, and I never went back. That was it.
He gone.
Gone.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And
I still remember all the nights, like I was saying earlier, like Aaron and I would go. What was the name of the place? I don't remember.
Thai restaurant.
It was a Thai restaurant down in
Yes, you do.
Percival,
Wasn't
Virginia.
it a bad name?
No, you're thinking of Wong Kok, which was a Chinese restaurant down in
what's it called?
South Riding. So Terry, if you're watching, Terry Rudolph, he has the thickest Southern drawl.
Somebody go get Terry
He would
Rudolph.
get on the radio like, "I'll be code 7 at the Wong Kok," and everyone was
Yeah,
like, "Oh
I remember that.
God!"
Crazy.
But yeah, no, we'd sit there and we just we'd have whatever drunken noodles, and I love drunken noodles because the next day you'd have hungover noodles if you had leftovers. But we just sit there and talk about what we want to do and our ideas going forward. I think you left about a year before I did, 6 months before I did something
At the most a year before you did. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, if Aaron can do it, you know what? Aaron's doing this. He ain't sleeping on my couch yet, so I think I can make this happen.
That's a fact, man.
gosh.
No, we used to talk about it a lot, and I think it was.
Man, we'd get coffee, just sit,
So the one thing, like I travel for a company, it's not important, but when I talk to other cops, the one thing that I think I tell this to cops all the time, I say they're institutionalized, right? As far as when you're in public service, whether you're a police officer, nurse, teacher, firefighter, whatever, you really start thinking that you can't get out of it, right? You have to stay 25 years. You earned your pension. You must stay to get that pension, right? Because that pension is your whole life. But what happens? You get a pension, you still got to work.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to live on $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month on a pension? You can't. It's impossible, right? And my big thing with the county was the second Loudon took back their insurance, because when I got hired, like when you got hired, it was full medical insurance for the rest of your life, right? They rescinded that. You know what I mean?
And when everybody, not just the new people.
No, I know. But when they took that back and said, you know what, we're not going to give you medical benefits anymore when you retire. What is the point of staying to retirement? Zero. I mean, so you work 25 years and you take home $5,000 or something. I mean, like
you have to literally do the math of how it all works out.
So one thing that everybody overlooks when they want to step out of their government jobs or their normal jobs and step into small businesses, they get locked on that. You have to stay for your pension. You got to stay for retirement.
Because you set a deadline and run the numbers.
Run your numbers.
Oh, yeah.
When I left at 16 years, it wasn't that much difference at all. A couple $100 if I would have stayed 20. And from 20 to 25 was only $900 increase. So like I was going to have to stay 9 more years to make $800 more a month.
Yeah. It's not worth
insane.
And you don't know what's going to happen in that.
Yeah, no clue.
Well, again, with us too, especially with Denise and I, it's like, you know what? Are we going to stay here for another, I don't know how much longer. I would have to say I was 50,
And we were considering too, like the impact on the kids, and do we want to move? Would we wait till they're
family? Because we had no family down
so
there,
we need a U shape for this next time. We need like a horseshoe table.
All right, so Aaron's been here all of 3
hours.
Look
at you to be rude, but then I'm like, I gotta look at Denise. And
4 hours. I mean, and he's given me a list this long of demands that I need to implement.
A reclining couch chair upstairs in the office.
No,
Chrissy, can you reel him in?
Yes,
I want a love seat area, and I want at least a lazy boy chair. There's so much inventory here. There's not a couch or a chair in this building.
There's bean bags in the attic.
I used to have a seating space in front of my desk, but I don't even have that anymore.
It's not there anymore.
No, it's not.
There's
gone.
stuff everywhere up there. it's so much. That's what you guys don't understand. There's so much inventory that it's like, it's just insane. I think it's in a
guys,
positive.
Don't forget, we're always buying toys and collections, preferably vintage.
He does. He won't stop. But I think in aspect of the business talk you were having, I think you're a good example. And I'm saying you, but it fits both of us. But I think you're a really good example of, if you have a passion, you know it, you can make money doing it in America.
Yeah.
Period. Right? If you have a passion and you know the content and you know it for real, you can make real money. And
you could do this as a hobby, but you're not going to be successful. If you're treating your business as a hobby and like, this is only hobby. Do I enjoy this? Yes. But am I in this to make money? Yes. If you're not in this to make money, your business is going to fail.
For profit or it's a hobby.
Exactly. So
that's it.
I mean,
this is an interesting topic to talk about, because that's where some of the competition comes in, because they look at your model and they look at what you're doing and how you're being successful. And their opinion is, you don't appreciate what this is really about because you're making money on
But
it.
Okay, let me talk.
and you can do
Yeah.
both.
I
That's the
knew I
thing,
was going to
man.
rile you both
So-
up with that one. Go.
So that's a problem, right? And I hear that from a lot of very low level, what we call pond scum trainers, basically people
Pond scum trainers.
that
PSTs
they're-
from now on.
damn, I love it. PST. So what'll happen at times is through jealousy, people get delusional, and it's like you have to always remind yourself as a business owner, one, like, are they worth your time? Is it worth your platform? Do you just ignore them? But then you get the personal side that comes in, and you start getting frustrated. You want to be
Correct.
defensive, right? And you'll have people often that are hobbyists, meaning they train their dog once a week on a Sunday, once a month or something, right? And then they'll tell you, you don't know what this is about. It's not about the money. It's about the dogs. And I'm like, hold on, stop. That's cool. However, the dogs don't pay for the lights. They don't pay for these tens of thousands of square feet of training centers.
No.
They don't pay salary on all these trainers that are helping the
Think about
dogs.
how many people you're
Like-
giving jobs to versus just having
Tremendous, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like if you just go in the buildings and you start looking at the equipment there, like it's a lot of money. It's
Yeah.
a tremendous amount of money. And it's like it is about the money because it is a business. So you're either running a for-profit business or it's a hobbyist on the side, right?
Right.
And there's
You
nothing
can't
wrong
do
with that.
both.
But there's nothing wrong with it. You can be a
You
hobbyist.
can have
You
it,
can-
your hobby can be your business, but at the end of the day, you can appreciate it as a hobby, but you are using it as your business. You
Right.
can't just say, okay, this is just a hobby. I don't care if I make money. That's
then
not
you're-
going to work.
and then you're throwing shade on somebody that's running it as a business. And in the dog industry, a lot of times what will happen is people will train dogs part-time. They have a full-time job, right? But they hate on guys like myself and a lot of others. There's a ton of other
They must know you.
big company. I mean, we're a tiny company, right? I mean, we're and the guys that are on my squad.
Can you please put this in like perspective for me? Because you keep saying you're small, and
I
I
put it
look
in
at
perspective.
Ridgeside as being like,
But I put it in perspective to the national brands for dog training, and there are
Okay.
national players, right?
okay,
And they're massive. That's not our goal. That's their space, and we let them have their space. It's not our space.
that would be like something that's inside of a building you would see on the regular down the street.
So there'll be small buildings, but if you looked at like the national level people like Off Leash K9 or Sit Means Sit or
I was
Bark
trying
Busters or
not
TikTok.
to say a name, but okay.
No,
yeah.
I don't care. I mean, they're good companies. There's nothing wrong with those companies. It's just different,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
And the difference in it is that we have our space, they have their space. They are the masses, and it is, you know, if you have a basic dog with very basic issues, they're good companies to go to.
Yeah.
We have much more packages. We have much more specialized stuff, and we're never going to be that size because that's not our vision. Right?
Yeah.
But nothing against those guys that have it. That's
Okay.
their vision. But what'll happen is, as hobbyist trainers, when you don't depend on the hobby for income, it's easy to attack others that do.
Mm.
But at some point, if you do your hobby right, it'll transition to a full-time income. Well, then what? Now you're doing the same thing you were criticizing others to do, right? So it's this weird circle of jealousy that runs in circles, and it's like that old statement, man. That Chrissy reminded me of this last week actually, because these knuckleheads that were trolling us on Instagram, and they were like real PSTs, just pond scum.
PSTs.
Pond
I should
scum.
copyright that.
I love it. I don't think you can copyright those words.
I'll
Maybe.
try.
But she always said it, man. Winners focus on winning, losers focus on winning. Or I say it
punch
backwards.
down, right?
Losers focus on winners, winners focus on winning. And like you said,
It's true.
and I said that on Instagram last week, like I'm not going to punch down. Like people will come at you with 100 followers and they have like 6 posts, 100 followers, and they're like, you don't know what you're doing. You're doing it all wrong. And I'm like, we trained 400 dogs last month, right?
Yeah.
We trained thousands of dogs a year. We must be doing something right.
But
Right.
you usually, I shouldn't say usually. I've seen several posts where you've replied and been like, okay, I will play
Yeah, I'll
this
come on your
game.
program.
I
I'll
will
do a
go on
thing.
your show, or
so
I'll
I do
take your
that sometimes. I'm
training.
guilty
And
as charged. I don't try to though. So I'm trying to just, my new way is get them off.
just ignore.
Just ignore.
Okay, so are you taking a training class?
Okay, so let's talk about that. That caused a big problem.
You
So-
can tell. I didn't. If you tell me to shut up, you can tell
No,
me to shut up.
I don't get it. Who cares? It's Instagram stuff. It's,
Okay.
it's fake.
All right.
So one thing about my social media is you don't see a lot of personal stuff on me on social media. Almost zero. It's all business, right? So people start attacking you as if like it's real life, and it's like it's just social media. It's not real life at all, right?
Yeah.
You hear that?
I hear a child. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
check on the child.
So basically, they had some people that were kind of trolling us, and I said, you know what? I don't believe in their schooling or their degrees, but I said I'm going to do that too. So I could basically counteract and say, okay, so
What's going on, guys?
if you guys say that you need these degrees to be successful, but yet you have them and you're not successful, and I don't have them and I am successful, oh, well, okay, I'll play your game. I'll go take your degrees. I'll go take these
Successful by
courses.
what criteria?
That's the $1 million question, right? So that's what always chaps me as a business owner when people say things like you're doing it wrong or this is not right or that's messed up or that. And it's like, show me how you would do it. Oh, you've never done it, right? Show me how you would be successful. Oh, you've never been successful.
Right.
And that part gets very frustrating. And that's where I think now we're at a better headspace where it's like, just ban them and move on. You know what
Focus on what you're doing and that it is creating success. And that's the end of it.
And if they're not bringing revenue, don't give them an ounce of your energy. That's it. Clients take in a good way. Always be thankful for your clients. Clients take a lot of emotional energy at times, right? So it's like,
Interesting.
Where from like a top-down view, if it gets to where I need to call a client, it probably needs like I need to call the client, right?
Right.
Those conversations are either really good or you're like playing cleanup, right? And you're trying to figure out communication issues and sometimes very complex logistics and stuff like that. And it takes away so much energy that it's like it's not worth giving your energy to somebody on Instagram who's going to make you $0, would rather see your business blow apart, doesn't know you, is 5 states away, and is a nobody. And it's like, why even fool them?
Smart.
You know what I mean?
That's smart.
How do you guys handle it?
Oh, gosh. How do I answer that question? So
who does the back and forth, you or JJ, on who's more active on social?
Oh, that's a great question. Both of us are. It depends what it is. So he gets into the nitty gritty if we're getting specific about a toy or he's going through a collection or whatnot. I'm much more, here's the events and the sunshiny, everybody help us out kind of thing, and the like logistics, bigger logistics and things like that. So we both do both. We usually monitor our posts, but I say John's much more heavier of being in the comments and everything.
Okay.
He asks me all the time, did you get on there? So-and-so left this comment. You need to answer. You got to check this. So he's always on top of me, but he's usually more
He's always
active.
on top of you? Jeez. Denise, this is after hours.
It is after hours, but we're good. It's after hours.
All right. Yeah, it's a weird thing, man, because the other half of it is on that post specifically what you're talking about, and this was funny. I have a kid that works for me named Colby, and he's super cool. Yeah, Walker coming down behind you. He's super cool. He's a young prior Marine, but he's pretty good on Instagram and TikTok and some things like that. And he had told me a while back about like, you know,
is Colby the one that has like he's the weightlifter and he's our
little model boy.
I know
like who underwear model or something.
I kind of know who Colby is.
Yeah.
If you want to introduce me, that'd be cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Come on.
Thank you. Anyway,
it'll remind you of your age when he's like, I'm 24. You're like, oh my Lord, have mercy.
Thank you so much for that.
Literally almost half your age.
Yes, you can stand here, honey.
So anyway, we wound up doing that post, and that post about the educational aspect got like 250, I believe, comments on it.
That's a lot.
But so for a small business page, a lot of comments, and it skyrocketed our algorithm. So there, I'm like, these people are trying to tear you down, but they're commenting, and commenting spikes your algorithms to the roof.
Any attention is good attention sometimes.
It's a good thing. You know what I mean?
So comment on this video, guys. Share it with your friends.
Share it and comment. So you also asked me, how do we handle it? So the comments and things like that, like I said, we're getting on top of things. But the John, his question is really, how are we handling like the shade that's being thrown at us?
You say the way you deal with shade is you ignore it, or you just do a better job and kick their butts at their own game. What do you think, Aaron?
Oh,
wow. Animal! This is from the 80s Toy House, folks.
Big drums!
Listen, if you're going to be friends with JJ, you got to just tolerate this kind of silly stuff, because like it doesn't stop. And it's funny. He was like this as a cop too, though. He's always been funny like that. It's actually pretty funny.
True story.
It's true. But how do you?
Ew, John!
What?
I can't.
Hold on, my mom's calling. Mom's calling.
Mom's calling. Wait, okay, so what was your question? Same thing.
Yeah, so how do you guys handle that?
What?
Just if.
What was the question?
I don't know. He's so like distracting.
He really is.
Yeah, he's funny. The how do you deal with it and without turning off clients while still
Oh, okay.
like do you engage
So
at
in
all, or
our
do you just
situation,
block,
no,
ban, delete?
we generally don't engage directly. That's okay. It's just water. It's okay. We don't usually don't
Live on TV, girl. Bounce.
we don't engage directly, but we'll like have conversations with some of the individual clients because it's an individual client experience basically is some of the situation, and we'll just have a conversation and we'll talk about like gosh, how do I word? I can't think of how the jeez. Somebody's got a rad car.
I'm really glad that this isn't on my live on my platforms because I'm like, JJ, if you get out of this chair one more time, I'm gonna kill you. Like, little one, get upstairs and get on your iPad.
We have no
Mike, we're in a parking
control.
lot. Shut it down.
We have no control. I told you. Everyone's like, what time is this?
Oh my
I'm like,
God, child.
it's ish. You never know. We are living by the seat of our pants. People
None
have
said she was gonna come and handle the munchkins for us.
Are we handing them off? Is
Yeah.
that what's
Nice.
happening? All right. Yes. We love
So
you.
where were we?
Oh, so Aaron, the whole point of that,
We thought you could trade anything on.
you said you could train anything with 4 legs. So
Is that what that's here?
It is.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing.
Stay. Oh, look, I got you beat, boy.
You got a place on
I
lockdown.
want to hear some funny dog stories, to be honest.
Funny dog stories. Jeez.
Okay, wait.
Why did the beagle cross the road?
Why?
To get to the other side.
To throw
Doesn't-
wind up mosquitoes.
So
Aaron-
that would not be an improv joke.
Aaron asked me a day ago and said, I'm on my way. What should I bring? And my answer was,
So if anybody that works for me is watching this, they'll tell you
2.5
I
hours,
have no
Tony. It
clue.
was like 12 hours.
I was like, bring me a puppy.
Oh, you did say that. Bring a
I
puppy.
said, bring me a puppy.
Yeah,
and
you
then
did say that.
but then John looked at me because I told him I said that. And he looked at me and I was like, kind
Denise
of
wanted
kidding.
a shop dog. I was like,
Kinda.
you can't have a dog running around the shop.
We
No,
need a
God,
shop
I'd be so
dog.
stressed.
Oh yeah, no, not
In this
happening.
toy store, you'd have
Don't
stuff.
encourage him.
So two things would happen. You have black carpet everywhere, so you have dog hair everywhere.
Everywhere.
And then you would have merchandise messed up.
Exactly. Denise doesn't think these things through.
Okay, fine. You guys could just hang out together.
It's hard enough having a redhead around the shop.
Can you imagine if you and me were in business together? I let you deal with the inventory, and then you turn around. We'll have 7 of these locations, and like you just deal with inventory logistics.
My favorite part is the people that come in and the collection.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna lie. I love talking to everybody that comes in here, but I like buying collections.
That's what I'm
Almost
saying.
the best.
You deal with that. Let me deal with finding some ideas and stuff. This could be. I don't know. I still think the Airbnb thing here is a cool.
Aaron wants to have an Airbnb in a toy store.
Oh, there's a
And he-
whole
but the first thing he was
event that
asking
goes
was
with
like,
that.
How do you guys deal with like
I think it'd be
loss and theft? And he's like, you guys should have an Airbnb. How does that go together?
I just think it'd be cool upstairs. The building is big enough for you.
No,
can
the
have an
building is not
Airbnb
big enough for all
upstairs.
the toys I have. How am I going to have it big enough to have people
All right,
sleeping
so
here?
she's gone. So how is it? Tell the people how is it working with your wife?
I do all the work. I was kidding. It's got its ups and its downs.
All
You
right,
know,
tell us
she's
about
gonna-
the positives.
you have someone who has your back the entire time. You know what I mean? So like, and she does all the like, I do all the social, like if you guys see pictures on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff of toys, it's like, look what we got. That's me, because if Denise posted a picture, you go, look at this Star Trek guy, and it'd be like Luke Skywalker.
Okay.
But she does like the videos and all that stuff. And if you guys get responses to like reviews and all that stuff, that's typically Denise doing that, or me. I guess it depends. But if there's a little fire like emoji, that means it was Denise doing it.
That's cool.
24-hour lock-ins. Yeah, but we're gonna have to like pat you down before you leave. But yeah, she doesn't deal with all that stuff. Like right now, we have
Read what Vince Smith said right here.
train anything with 4 legs. Is that the equivalent of milking anything with nipples? Well, Aaron, you'd answer that question. I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
No, please stop. I'm vomiting in my mouth.
Well, you work with your wife, so what's the ups
You
and-
guys
the
work a lot more
downs? Is
together.
like if we're both here, it's like and you got something going on, or whatever. That's probably the hard part. Is like if the kids have an event and one of us is here, like one of us gets to go to the event, you know, let's stay here, or vice versa. As much as I love seeing you guys when you come in, it is nice to spend time at the family's house and dealing with my parents and going over for birthday parties and all that. When we leave here, birthday party. I go to the birthday party I leave here at 8 o'clock. And I'm driving over there at 8 o'clock, and everyone's already had cake and eaten, and I'm getting like cold leftovers, which whatever, it's still good. Because
Tell me this for this last. So you went from a house business to a brick and mortar, right? Obviously, right?
Clearly.
My question though, how much sacrifice? Not financially. I'm not talking about that. How much sacrifice does running this building actually take?
It takes a toll. I mean, you're here when you want to take your kids to basketball, or you want to do this. I mean, yeah, you go to every other one or whatever the case may be, but you miss out on some of that stuff. And like trying to get, like my son's 8, so I'll be like, all right, John, here, ring this up, and I'll teach him how to ring stuff up on the register,
which is cool.
Yeah, you want them to learn the responsibilities and all that, which is cool. And that's the one cool thing. Like we have the 3rd floor. If you guys don't know, there is an attic, like a 3rd floor we finished off, which is basically my kid's den. Like my son goes, this is kind of like my cave. It's my den. Well, they'd come home from school. I went there the other day and I looked. I was like, there's a pile of like 10 pairs of socks. Like, John Davis, get a bag from downstairs, throw all your dirty socks in there, and we're taking them home. Yeah. So I mean, while we do sacrifice some stuff, I think it is very important to have him here and learn how to run the business and do all this stuff. Because eventually, and I think Chrissy asked a while ago, the end game is to be able to give this to John and Talia and say, hey, you know what? We built this. You guys take it. If you want to sell the business, sell the business. If you want to continue running it.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, it's about your legacy and what you're going to do and what you can provide for your family after you're gone or when you're ready to go live on a beach somewhere.
Do you think you'll ever stop working?
Probably not.
Yeah, I get asked that a lot about
either one of you. No way.
Someday someone's going to come in here and see my legs sticking out from behind the register, take a bunch of toys and leave.
I literally begged you this morning to take a vacation. I begged him. I said, I will handle everything. Go away for a week. Nope.
You should come back to Virginia, man. I could use the help in the shop.
Well, I could use some help up here. Why don't you move your butt up here?
Suggested the exact thing.
You could come and hang out.
So Fishy Toys, which is Travis Murdoch.
That was really nice of Will to say that too, by the way. Oh, that's Murdoch?
Yep. He asked what our favorite toy is that I've seen in the shop. So probably one of the coolest things that I've gotten here now that I like is we got a Kraken from Clash of the Titans action
just
figure.
Pulled in? Oh, it's Nana.
Yeah, it's the Nuns. So if you want to rile up the munchies. So yeah, that's probably one of the coolest things recently we've gotten. It was the Clash of the Titans Kraken. I like when we get like the obscure toys. Like everyone can get He-Man, everyone can get G.I. Joes, but when it's like something like that, like this Kraken figure right here, this is damn it, I got lied to. This is not the Kraken. No, we got the Kraken. We got some cool Willow figures recently, like that 2-headed dragon, the Herbarisk or whatever it's called.
All right, so tell me this though. All right, next question. I'm asking questions your fans want to know now. It's your platform. They want to know all about you. Tell me about you spent 19 years at Sheriff's Office with Loudon and 4 or 5 years at Arlington, whatever it was, but 20 plus years. So you had 20 plus years of being a cop. Do you miss it?
Nope.
0.
I miss some of the people. Possibly Aaron. But other than that, no. I mean, do I miss dealing with people and helping people? I don't mind. I do miss helping people. I didn't miss a lot of the BS. There's a lot of drama. It's political, especially with the sheriff's office. It's a political position. So you have an elected sheriff, and a lot of the decisions he makes is based on if he get reelected or not. You know what? That's not what's necessarily always right for the citizens of the county or the city that you're in. I think it's, you do your job to, help keep the peace and make sure people can live their life safely and happily. And that's sometimes it would be not the goal, I think, of the elected official who's basically a politician.
Your mom's at the door.
Oh, my mom's at the door.
Hell out of me. I just looked over there. And just like that, I'm by myself. I'm on the podcast for Sarge Reds, and I am by myself in Sarge Reds.
Say hi to everybody.
Hi, Aaron.
Hey, Mom, how are you?
Good.
So that's a big one, right? As far as tell me one thing, like short answer, one thing you miss. The first thing that pops in your head.
The camaraderie, the guy. Like my favorite thing was like when we would.
See how I say a short answer with one word?
That is the guy.
This is how we talk.
This is a short answer for me.
All right, so the guys
I miss going like you go to the West End 7-Eleven, have a coffee in the middle of the night, talk like this. We talk about doing our business and everything. The camaraderie is the thing I miss. Do I miss all the crap that we had to deal with? Hold on, I haven't asked you that yet.
No, we're staying positive right now. I said, what's the one thing? Now, what's the one thing? And then just give the first thing that pops in your head. What's the first thing you don't miss about being a cop?
The uniform.
Yeah, it wasn't ever
very
comfortable.
uncomfortable.
it's funny, man. No matter, it looks cool, right? And we had good uniforms a lot. I mean, we had
Yeah,
exterior plate carriers, tactical pants. I mean, it was for police uniform. It was probably as comfortable as it could be. But
It's uncomfortable.
at some point between being a Marine, I did 6 years in Marines. You did 4. He did 23 as a cop combined. I did 16, and then he's obviously like 12 years older than me, maybe 2 years. But so
Don't laugh at him, Mom.
you can laugh. He's funny. So it's like, but the uniform's never comfortable. And I mean, when you work,
sitting in a car and like the gun is like your pistol's like digging into your side. Like,
you got to sit sideways.
Yeah.
You're twisted sideways half the time on the computer trying to run stuff on CAD and read your call notes, and it's one of those things. But I think a lot of times too, the body starts to hurt. You know what I mean? Where it's like between all of our time, at some point you hit that 20-year mark combined, and you're just like, wow, like my body hurts, and it sneaks up on you, and it happens overnight. But so for you, let's see, you missed the camaraderie, and you don't.
What about you? What was your favorite thing?
The action, the code response.
I didn't care for that.
Oh no, you didn't.
I mean, I do it, but whatever. You got to do what you got to do.
But you got to remind though, he became a supervisor. Jesus, here goes my charger cord.
God.
He became a supervisor, not by no means early on. You probably had 15 years in the street before you became a supervisor.
No, that many.
Was it? 12,
I got
13.
promoted under Simpson. How long was Chapman there?
You were a sergeant under Simpson?
I think he promoted right before he got unelected.
That would have been like 2010, 2012.
Yeah. So, yeah.
12, 13 years. So, I mean,
long
you
enough.
weren't a rookie. You weren't the 2-year guy that got promoted 2 years
No, I wasn't kissing butt to get promoted.
And he went that route. I went narcotics, SWAT, and K9 route. So, especially coming off RRU or the full-time SWAT team and K9, every call was a hot call.
Yeah.
That's all we did, right? But now you're driving a lot. You're running call to call all over the damn county, but every call was a hot call. So I miss that. I miss driving 120 miles an hour. I miss pulling up on scene when it was chaos. I miss jumping out to unknowns. I miss that. I don't miss anything else. I could never go to court a day in my life. I don't give a shit about court.
God, I hated court.
I hate all the stupid e-learnings, and you got to spend 2 hours to shift every 6 months checking boxes on, are you backing up safely, or are you wearing PPE equipment? You're just like,
the one like with ladder safety and stuff. I was like,
so stupid.
I don't need to. It doesn't matter how high the rails are on the staircase. It's not part of my job.
Yeah, and
Why am I doing this?
You could kick 6 doors, make 20 arrests, have really good street activity, but you'll be written up because you didn't take ladder safety.
I know,
And you're
right?
like, what is going on? Like, it's crazy. It makes no logical sense.
Well, you get all these like courses that are designed by like lawyers or something for like OSHA stuff, and it's just like I don't climb ladders. I'm not a fireman. I'm not getting cats out of trees. Matthew, you could probably attest to this. Like, I don't do that. I can't remember one time in my 20 years plus that I climbed a ladder.
I always thought that was funny. So I don't miss.
Clearly, I couldn't climb the ladder because I passed lieutenant's test in first place several times to get promoted. But hey, politics.
No, there's no politics.
But hey, would lieutenant and Reds sound as good? No. So
No.
I think we're pretty good with what we got.
Yeah, you definitely got that coin phrase working for you.
Hey, you know what? I enjoy it.
There's no doubt about it.
So what was the worst thing then, other than court and having major supervisor?
I think the worst thing was my disappointment in law enforcement. And let me be clear, like, I bleed blue. Like, I would stop for an unknown cop on the side of the road right now and risk my life to help if I saw him, right? No question about it. But I was ultimately disappointed in the end with just, I never realized how political, we come from a large department, almost 1,000 people, right?
Wow.
So it's not huge by any means. It's still small, but it's almost 1,000 people. So it's relatively large. And the amount of internal politics that creep in are just, once you know enough to know when to see it, and you can recognize from a mile away, and you know what's going on behind the scenes, and you're like, I'm just here to arrest bad guys and help good people.
Yeah.
When did all of that become more prominent and important than just arresting bad guys and helping good people?
Yeah, I still remember specific incidents where we were doing our job, things that we have done for years, and you get a new elected official in, and one of their friends gets hemmed up or arrested for breaking the law, know, and then all of a sudden you can't do those anymore. Sorry, why not? There's no reason given. Well, you know what the reason given is. 100%. It's ridiculous, and cops, like anybody else, are humans. They're fallible. There's good cops. There's bad cops. Just like there's good dog trainers, bad dog trainers. But at the end of the day, it's just the politics killed it. As far as with the sheriff's office, anyways, I don't know how it would be working on a PD. I would assume it would be similar. But at the end of it, like Aaron said, I just want to go and do what I can do to help people. I did community
Yeah.
policing. That was my favorite thing I did while I was in the sheriff's office, because you get to go into these communities and you get to work with people really closely and help them solve problems, whether it's like a nuisance abatement with an abandoned house where you have issues, where you go work with the homeowners or the property owners to get everything squared away. That was what I enjoyed doing, was like to help people. Like as far as traffic goes and everything, when I was a young cop, traffic stops, let's go, all this. But at the end of the day, I was like, you know what?
But you were a hammer when you were young.
Yeah, when I was younger. But then you start realizing, okay,
I mean,
if
you would go
someone's
through a
going-
whole. You would go through a whole ticket book sometimes. and
Yeah,
shit.
but now it's like you go through.
It
It's
was
like,
great.
all right, you're going 10 miles over, whatever, pull you over.
Who cares?
Here's a warning, go away, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, now if you're in a residential zone, school zone, that's different. If it's something that's going to be risking people's there's a child coming down the stairs. Hi, Talia.
So I think what you're saying is, as you matured in law enforcement, you started realizing there's bigger picture stuff going on.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, you always mature in your job. A lot of guys that get into law enforcement are straight out of the military after 4 years. You got like 21, 22-year-old guys. And some of them are just like, they watch all these shows and they get going. We get guys like that. And they would drive me nuts when I was a sergeant. Like, it's like, dude, chill out.
Don't say any
calm
names
down.
if it's negative stuff, though.
I won't
I
say
know they're
anything.
on the tip of your tongue.
No, but
Okay, negative stuff you
I
can't
would
say the
always be
names.
like people are like, oh, well, maybe I could do this and this. And like, okay, at the end of the day, you want to like err on the side of not violating someone's rights. You do what you got to do, and at the end of the day, you do what's right. And I know there's a lot of crap going on right now, and there's definitely bad cops out there, 100%. I'm not one of those guys that's going to be like back to blue 100% no matter what. No, you look at the individual and their actions. Did they act appropriately or not? So I mean, that's just the one thing I think you have to look at. Like, of course, there's bad cops. And anyone who says, "Oh, back to blue 100%," that's
Yeah, and I mean, I
ignorant
think
statement to make.
I think everybody's got to realize, though, when you talk about that, you're talking about like 0.05%.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like,
it is.
people think there's some like 50-50. It's like good cops and bad cops. And that's just not the case. I mean, you have good cops and lazy cops.
There's a
And
lot of lazy.
that you have.
Aaron's
But
not lazy.
when you look at the good cops or the criminals, I mean, you're talking 0.05%. Maybe people say 1%. I don't even think it's that. I think when it comes to really corrupt cops, like 0.05. Do I think that there's just people that shouldn't be cops that are in law enforcement?
Yeah.
I think probably
Again, there are people that make mistakes too. At the end of the day, and if they don't learn from those mistakes, they gotta go.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's like
I think a lot of mistakes, though, in law enforcement and a lot of stuff you see that's negative on law enforcement, and not to sound really bad by saying this, but a lot of it is because the people that were involved should have never been a cop to begin with.
Yeah,
And
a lot
that's
of times,
just the truth.
You'll see it. I mean, you've seen it. I've seen it. People get jobs because of who they know, and that's not appropriate. You should be hiring people, not just in law enforcement, but in any profession, based on your skills and abilities or your ability to learn that job correctly. Even
Well,
like
like one
I don't
thing-
want to hire someone who doesn't know anything about toys,
No, for sure. And
or
on,
without the ability to learn about those
absolutely.
toys.
And on that aspect, one thing that kills me sometimes is, where we worked previously, a lot of times they would absolutely preference a 4-year degree over
Life
time in the
experience.
military.
Yeah.
And, I have both, right? I went back to school and got a bachelor's from George Washington while we were working. And like, what did that teach me? Zero. What kind of intelligence did that provide me? Zero. What did it do for my career? Zero. However, I know a lot of guys that were combat vets that were pushed away, and younger 21, 22-year-old kids with a 4-year degree got in. And it's like, how's that really work out? So, for example, again, if you look at a lot of the current events where people overreacted or got stressed or something bad happened or whatever, and it's like, do you want that college kid who lived a privileged life and never ever went through adversity in his life and never seen violence and has never been through a violent encounter dealing with someone under a high level of stress? Or do you want that combat vet that can almost step back, kind of laugh and be like, hey, dude, chill out because like you're about to get hurt for real. Right. And, this whole thing about cops shouldn't be warriors, cops should be guardians, it's garbage. If you want a guardian, call a parent, call a teacher, call a coach, call a counselor, call a social worker. Those are your guardians. Obviously, cops guard you, but you have to have warriors as cops. If you don't have warriors as cops, really bad stuff can happen. And it's like, I'm not saying everybody has to have that mindset. However, when you're going on a hot call and all the admin stuff can wait for later, right? When somebody's kicking the door or you're running into a house or you're jumping out of a car in a chaotic scene, it's like you need warriors there. You need real cops that know real what's going on.
They have to be warriors, but also you do need to have that guardian mindset as well. And, it depends on the situation you're in. No, you have to have both. So it depends on the situation. If you're going into a hot call, yeah, you have to do the warrior mindset, but you also, at the end of the day, have to have that guardian mindset, because at the end of the day, you are looking out for these people. If my family's sleeping in my house and the cops driving around, I see someone creeping around my house, that's the guardian mindset. I see this person, this looks suspicious. Maybe we're looking at the word guardian different.
Yeah.
But I think,
so when I say that, I say, if warrior is counter of laziness to me, right? So,
well, you definitely have
as
guys
long
that are
as-
just like lazy
Correct.
sacks who are in this for the
Correct.
money. And
correct.
they don't want to do anything. They're the ones that drive the opposite direction and don't want to go to the call. And you have to be, you do have to go and put yourself in danger. And again, you see stuff that's happening. My kid's school is very, very close to where we're at. And if something happens, I'm going to go over there and do my damnedest,
100%.
But yeah, so.
Do you still carry every day?
Yeah, every day.
Carry 24/7.
So, hey, Gene, what's going on? And I appreciate it, Chesty. I tried to do my best when I was doing law enforcement. I try to do my best now as a toy entrepreneur. I don't know.
You did a hell of a job, man.
I trained you.
I mean,
I clearly have one. I don't know. If
people there still know who you are.
I feel like if I went down there, and I got pulled over, like, who are you? I don't think.
Oh yeah, at this point,
there's a lot of new guys. I've been
It's
going
a
for
ton.
3 years, 4 years.
a ton. Yeah, yeah, it's a long time with turnover like it is there. No question about it.
Welcome back, D.
All right.
Denise is coming back to join us, so we can go back on lighter topics other than foreign policy and.
We might need to give Nana a badge of honor because she's about to have 2 very screaming kids.
That's what grandmothers are for.
How are they?
Screaming
They
babies.
well,
How are
they
they
thought
still
I was
awake?
getting in the car with them, and I
How are they
didn't.
still awake?
They're
They
my
stay up
kids. Yeah.
Because they
Good night,
will
owls
not
like
go
that.
to sleep until mommy lays down with them.
Yeah,
And then they're
I'll
out.
Let's be
read them a
honest.
bedtime story, but Nana's pretty good at smothering with a pillow to like pass out. So, kidding, any law enforcement.
Hi,
agents that may be
Gene.
watching.
Sounds like you're sniffing. Take 8 Benadryl. You'll feel better.
Wow.
Just kidding. That's really bad. Don't do it.
All right.
Stop it.
What did I miss? I heard y'all were talking about me while I was gone.
We were talking
I've
about
got
how
spies,
wonderful
by
you
the way.
were.
People tell me things.
You could have just watched your phone.
Yeah,
and
it's
walked up.
literally a
That's
video
Could have watched it
streamed
in
live,
live and in
But see,
action.
I couldn't because I was multitasking. But the certain important points were
Does it
pointed
make
out
you
to me.
uncomfortable if my arms around your chair? Perfect, because it's just helping to stretch everything out.
Does it make
Wow.
you
This is always a step 2.
Wow.
I knew that was going to happen. That's why I tried to prep it with this, and then you had to lay it.
Just
I
gave
knew it
him
was
the
gonna happen.
opening.
I
Give him
knew.
the opening.
Yeah. This was like the.
So what is the
Molly,
next step
not
for Ridgeside,
appropriate.
Aaron? What are you gonna do? You gonna like keep opening?
I want to hear
different-
more about the pool. I'm so stoked about the pool.
Yeah,
The
tell us about the pool.
So
Um,
exciting.
It was a nightmare. It was bad. We should have never done it.
Do you feel like now where you're at, you feel like you really
Matt, you
still
could
shouldn't
carry
have
a
done
hose
it?
and an axe everywhere we went. I wouldn't think it was silly.
Say it again.
You feel like you really should not have done it? Do you really think that?
I would not have done it at this point if I knew everything I knew to this point and I knew how much it was going to cost.
But if you knew what
Okay.
you knew now and didn't have to deal with the mess ups that your contractors and stuff did,
it's a hard one. So it is a tough situation, man. I got to be.
so
I
explain
can't.
what it is.
Like, I
Yeah.
can't talk all about it, to be quite honest with you, but
Oh.
I'll give a lot about it. There's certain things I don't want to talk about. But we have good contractors, and I'm friends with the owner of the contracting company, personal friends. He was actually a client, and then I became his client, and then we became friends. We've done a lot of business together.
Female nurse.
No. No. And I think I think there was a lack of communication. I think there was some oversights. I think there was just some real mess ups. And I don't want to say anything on this camera, but there was some real mess ups. And so it's very difficult when you're dealing with commercial buildings when it comes to pools. There's so much zoning and permits and issues you don't know if you're not in that space, and we're not in that space, so we didn't know any of it, right?
Yeah.
And
You don't know the right questions to ask.
you don't even know what questions to ask.
Right.
You don't even know what the wrong questions are. One of the biggest things we dealt with when we went in there, we'll talk about with the mess up in a second, but the pool looked okay. It was holding water. We didn't know what the hell we're looking at. We tried to have it
I
inspected
hope
by.
it's holding water. It's not a pool.
Well, you'd be surprised. We had different inspectors come look at it. 3 different companies were like, we're not doing anything with the pool because it's built in a massive building. It's an indoor, in-ground, like big pool. So like,
Does it matter if it's for dogs only, but people have to go in with the dogs?
oh, it
so is that
matters
why-
big time as far as your zoning goes. But part of that though, because we couldn't get proper inspection on the pool because the companies, they don't want to touch it because it's not like a backyard pool. It's all custom stuff, and you got to, if something's wrong with a pipe, you got to jackhammer out all kinds of concrete to get down to I mean, it's a mess. And also what happened was the previous owner sabotaged it before they got kicked out when they couldn't pay the rent. So they wound up stuffing some of the pipes full of rubber duckies. But these were impossible to fit. They had to be forcefully taken apart, jammed in there. That was a very expensive issue we had to solve. And then they just kept piling up. So
Rubber ducky.
yeah, it wasn't. No, it was really
Wow.
bad. And It's basically like you're about to open and you realize you can't flush a toilet, but toilets are required by code.
Matter of fact, we'll tell that story afterwards. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't want to remember that story.
So in the midst of dealing with that, we got it fixed, and then we had applied incorrectly for wrong permits. We didn't know because I wasn't using a general contractor. We're trying to save money. We're trying not to go bankrupt. We had guys that they should have kind of known, but we're all learning, you know. And we had the wrong
There's
permits.
so much red tape in dealing
You have
with
no idea.
opening a business. It is a miserable experience.
And the specific county we're dealing with at the time, which I don't want to say right now, but it's a hard county to deal with, and they're not very intelligent. They're known as being anti-business. I think it's like Jim Bob hires Larry, who hired Sally, that runs the business economic development. It's
Jim Bob
crazy. And so because we had those delays and we filed the wrong permits, another T-Mobile was opening directly next to us. The building inspector for that county was in T-Mobile, heard some hammering next door, decides to call the county back and say, hey, is there a permit on this zoning next door? They say, yeah, there's this permit and that permit. And he's like, well, they're in there banging on stuff. And this is where, like, it's crazy to me. He lets himself in the building, which I'm glad I wasn't there. Because I would have went absolutely ballistic. But he let himself come in the building and then kicked everybody. They red papered the building. So they put the cease and desist, like, thing, right? And it's like, this is a big problem because, you know, we've been paying rent on a building for 10 months. We can't go in. And these are like big commercial buildings, right? It's like, they're not cheap.
It used to be like an old like Petco, basically, right?
Yeah.
Or something that size.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is. So they're very expensive. You can't get into them. There was sabotage. Then zoning shut us down. We realized we had all the wrong permits. We realized that our contractors were not correctly licensed to do the work. This was a major problem. And then the county was already involved at this point. So we had to bring in new engineers.
Oh, man.
And engineers.
It started all over again, essentially, right?
The paper aspect, yes. Not the physical aspect. But the paper aspect is almost as expensive as the physical aspect. So new engineers came in. They will not use old people's drawings and all that stuff.
Not. They want to make their money.
They want their. Well, this was a friend of a friend, so it was the best case scenario. But you know, these were 6-figure mistakes, and they were like real stressful, high stress. I mean, like real high stress.
So you
problems.
asked us, what do you do to deal with the stress?
I don't know. I said I'm not an example is what I said though. I don't know.
You
what
did
I do.
say that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just carry it and get more stressed.
Vince said it sounds like you should open up a location in Utica, Michigan.
Yeah, I told JJ to run it, and we would. I couldn't open up something here if they weren't running it, but if they were running it, we would.
We had that conversation.
Yeah.
My next job.
If you moved up here
to run it. Be so
think how much
fun.
easier it would be to drive
Nothing
to
else
the
going
building.
on. Totally. It'd be a lot easier to come here if I was around the corner.
Right?
But no, so the pool. Anyway, my right-hand man, my operational officer is Jeff. And, you know, truth be told, it was kind of learning by trial by fire on him on the pool. But it's all right now. It all got fixed up. There's so many.
It's open, right?
No, we could be open, but we're shooting for July 5th.
Okay.
There's a grand opening.
Sounds like a road trip.
I don't know if I was supposed to say that date. And this is
Oh,
it's probably okay.
You can't
snap.
believe it.
I'm trying to make sure it was okay. Yeah, no, I think July 5th sounds
Okay,
good.
so can you talk about like whenever the grand opening is, like what is that going to look like? Is it everybody come swim your dogs?
Man, we don't know. So we've been so deep in the forest, like we forgot about the trees here. So with those zoning, where we messed up royally, one of the reasons why it became so expensive is the original contractors didn't follow ADA policies. So with commercial spaces that's open to the public, like we are, and the zoning areas that we are, you have to be ADA to the T. Like there is no negotiation. Like you have to be within ADA.
We dealt with that too. We had to put this ramp in and all that stuff. We had to make it happen like 10 times the size it would have been. I understand it because we do have people that come in that are in wheelchairs or they have like walkers and stuff. And it's cool.
Yeah.
When they come in, I'm like, okay, I'm glad we did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
So my
when you're
problem
doing it, you're
was-
like, oh, why am I dropping all this money on a ramp?
Yeah, for sure. My problem was that all the walls were already built. So when they came through and they were off by 1 inch this hallway.
Were they just grandfathered in? Like
No, they won't grandfather.
No. You
This
get a
building is
sledgehammer
from
and you knock them down.
1906.
No,
they weren't
but why-
grandfathered.
why were they wrong?
Because the contractor made a mistake putting them up.
And they just passed before.
They never passed. We
Oh.
put them up
Oh.
incorrectly. So when the new inspector came in and he get his measuring tape out
Oh, yeah.
and it's off by an inch, it's a fail. So there was multiple walls, and I mean, like these are like 26 feet tall. Like these are like walls, not like a little
Like an indoor swimming pool.
Yeah, not like a little stanchion that was put in the wrong place. These are like metal framed, electrical already in them. insulation in them, drywall, painted, framed out walls that had to be sledgehammered to the floor. Not one, there was multiple. Now,
Oh, man.
it was a blessing in disguise, right? It was, man, it was really stressful. So
He might have mentioned that once or
Um,
twice.
Tell us about the stress, Aaron.
yeah, it's crushing, man. But it almost bankrupted us. Like that's the truth. Like it literally almost bankrupted us because it was we had a budget and we
I
went
didn't
like
know it was as bad as it
yeah,
was.
we had a budget and it went like 3x over the budget.
Jeez.
Not like a little bit, like 3x over the budget.
We probably went over the budget at least double at this place.
Yeah, it
At
happened.
least.
It happened.
At least.
And but I always pride myself on Ridgeside being like debt free, no investors, carry no debt, cash revenue based, blah blah blah. And that almost went right out the wayside. So like we're still able to self fund everything, but it's like depleted, right? So
Yeah.
like I always say, if you're not willing to invest in your business, why would anybody else invest in your business? So one question that I've been asked a lot. I'm sorry about that if I stepped on your foot. One question that I've been asked a lot by people is, like, what do you invest in? I was going to ask you that earlier. Like, do you do crypto? Do you do stocks? Do you do this? And I'm like, I invest in fucking me.
Yeah, you got it.
I put 100% of money.
Yeah, it's
in my
true.
business.
And it might be little stuff. Like I know I've gone to other places that are like similar type establishments, and we invested in this place. Like we wanted to have,
I mean,
like,
the carpet here looks
Sweat,
expensive.
blood.
Like you could have gone and
Like-
gotten. I could have got Home Depot racks and put toys hanging up on there, but no, I wanted to get like appropriate commercial pictures. I wanted to get appropriate display cases.
Don't
can
even
tell.
say appropriate. John is very particular.
Well, no,
He does
You
it. He
can
does
tell.
it right.
You can
looks
tell.
Do
the
it
way it
right.
should
You
look.
can
I
tell.
want people to walk in here with
It looks amazing.
like I love it when a kid walks in here like whoa because they've never been to the toy
I do
store.
too.
I always say this, and the mom or dad or whoever comes in after, I'm like, oh my god,
It's
you
the
know,
best. It's the best.
it's the best thing. Like people come in like this morning. Someone came in at 11 o'clock when we opened. He was here till like what 1 o'clock.
He was here
They
for
were
a long time.
Like this place is awesome, and
Did you
it's like
just yawn?
Mhm.
he did
I
only have
was
like
up
an hour
at
of
3
sleep.
o'clock. 3 o'clock this morning,
Okay.
driving
All right.
580 miles to get here.
You want some caffeine?
No, I'm good.
That's a real friend, dudes. That's
This is the
real
second
friend.
time I
This
did
is
it.
the best friend.
That's the second time I did it though.
If
I
we
did it
could-
once before.
if
I
we
think
could
I only
only get
stayed
Aaron
for
to move
5
up here,
hours.
we need to get someone in Virginia that has a nice collection of toys,
Yeah, dude.
and I could drive down. Do you know any people?
So I did tell John that. Did you brief her on the order?
No.
Me or
Wait,
someone
what?
else, John?
You.
You wait, he's been calling me JJ all day. I don't know who you're talking about. John
I don't know-
Belushi?
I don't know why I called him John.
That was
You did
weird.
just call him John.
Because you've been calling him John.
I guess so.
Yeah, JJ. So
JJ.
yeah,
Everyone used to call me JJ. No one calls me JJ
Yeah.
anymore except for Aaron.
he was like,
It's like
"He's
my
John."
mom calls me Johnny still.
So weird. But if we can get him down to record 3 or 4 for Badges to Business, so we'll start bouncing back and forth.
Okay, listen.
Yeah, talk
I will
about that.
send him down if you give him vacation. Like you also like take him to the nudie bar, take him to
I
the
don't want to
casino.
do a nudie bar.
I don't. do nudie
I
bars.
don't do nudie
And I
bars.
damn sure don't do casinos. I don't bet.
Okay,
a
take
thing on
him-
anything.
Take him
If
whitewater
I can find
rafting.
a cool collection
That
down
we
there,
could do.
That to me is a vacation.
See, that's what I
Well,
mean.
it's
You
a
need
vacation
to
for me.
That would be cool.
Wow.
And then
I enjoyed
Aaron will
doing
come
that
with
last
me,
time.
and then we'll let
Yeah.
Aaron do the negotiation and watch as it burns up in flames.
I had a good time doing that.
That was fun.
When's the last time JJ's taken a vacation?
It would-
Never.
The last time would have been when we went to the last time we were at the lake house and he did not relax for a minute.
Oh, you guys sold that lake house, right?
We did, yeah.
Do you
We're looking at the new lake house.
do you miss not having a rental like that? Now,
Okay, so you're bringing up the exact point. Go ahead.
Was that an Airbnb style or was it just a lake house rental? I forget. We're talking about the Great Lakes, Michigan. They
Okay,
had a
so we
really
had-
nice lake house with
we-
a cool beach, like a
Completely private
200
beach,
yard beach.
100,
maybe?
125 foot private
It was
sandy
insane.
beach.
It was super cool.
on Lake Huron, completely secluded, like
Yeah.
the whole 9 yards. It was amazing.
How many steps were on the dock? Like
a lot.
200
No,
damn
it was
steps?
like the house is up on the bluff, and you did have to go down a bunch of
JJ
steps.
talked me into jumping in that. It was like icy outside. It was like snow.
What was it? There was. Yeah, I think there was.
No, I'm
snow.
not kidding.
I think there was snow.
I'm aware. And I
Yes.
jumped. That water was cold. And then it's like when you get out, you're like, that's still
I
150
think I'm dead.
yards back to the house, straight up like 500 steps. It was
I
insane.
forgot you did that.
That was cool.
What was your question? So it was we went through we had an agency, but like if anything was needed or anything broke or anything like that, we had to run up there, which it was a level of stress that like outweighed it. So even if we went as a family,
Was it profitable?
just about break even.
Okay.
And for me, that's worth it because then it's like vacation,
Yeah.
built
Well,
in
plus
vacation.
you own an asset. You're paying the asset
Right.
off. You're increasing
Exactly.
value there. I mean, that's a smart move.
But we two things happened. One is like, I mean, we couldn't even go there and enjoy it because John could not stop. Like, because this needs to be fixed and I have to do this. And we
Went up there,
vacation.
when I went up with John that one time,
and then
that's-
we wanted this.
that's how he was the first time when I went up with him. It was, we were cool, but there was like tons of little stuff he was working on before.
Oh my gosh.
I think you and the kids came after.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember.
You know who else remembers? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I don't
Hey,
know
Alder.
where this is going, but I see something in his hand that I'm kind of concerned
You
about.
This is
should be
nightmare
scared.
fuel.
You should be
Oh my God.
scared.
Damn, I'm not gonna lie, that's a little.
It's so creepy.
Boom.
Ugh.
Double tap. That'd be funny.
What is that, John?
I have no idea. It's a creepy monkey, is what it
That
is.
is.
It's probably from the 50s.
So this is what he does. I came to his house a long time ago, and I walk in, and he's got like a.
I think it was a Boba Fett helmet and a lightsaber.
Yeah, I know what was going
I
on.
was watching that video. It popped in my feed the other day.
He's got a thing on his face and a lightsaber in his
Do you
hand,
remember the
and crazy.
ventriloquist dummy? Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, that rigs would eat.
Yes, but I'm sure you were part of it too. I think you don't remember this at all.
I don't remember.
Okay, never mind. But
No,
yeah,
no.
John used to have a ventriloquist dummy that would just show up randomly all the freaking time.
I have another one came up, but someone bought it. They bought that creepy clown painting and the ventriloquist dummy.
Chrissy, what's your number at today? Just send the thing there so I can see. You don't got to say anything crazy.
Wait, what? What are you looking at?
She's still here. I want to know
5,
what
6,
she's doing.
7, 8, 309.
Wait, so you're asking her for stats right now?
Yeah, right.
Are you kidding me? We're just criticizing John for not turning
Wait,
it
I was
off.
gone for 5 seconds to use the bathroom. You guys are criticizing me?
And you're going to literally request an update from your employee on the live.
She's team. We don't have employees. We have team members.
Don't
Exactly.
answer him.
Answer him. He'll fire you. He's horrible.
No, I'm the worst at firing. I can't.
So,
fire.
Denise, we didn't talk about what's coming up in August.
Okay, so August,
Guys, August is
the
gonna be cool.
best.
So we're trying to do like an event every month or so.
It's a lot.
Every month or every other month. What was that? Denise just cut her throat. I think I'm watching like yeah, Aaron's computer is like 30 seconds. behind.
It's delayed. I think we're doing it. I don't know. There it
All right,
goes.
so
Yeah.
What in the world am I looking at? Some shirtless
Ethan
dude.
Page.
it's Ethan Page, all ego. He's
He
an
is
AEW
all
wrestler.
ego. He's amazing. He's the humblest, coolest dude. Like, he's awesome. And
He's
he's
into
super.
toys.
He's super
He
into
does toy hunts
toys.
and stuff, but he's a wrestler, a professional wrestler with AEW.
It's
And
cool.
he's up for the championship, isn't he? Or something.
I keep wanting to fix this thing.
It's like
No, it's
kind
I
of
know.
like
supposed to be like that.
It's actually cool. I like it, but I keep wanting to
it's
fix
a tablecloth. He's like reaching up. That's what he's fixing. Is the
It's
tablecloth.
tight on my knees. All right, get this guy off my screen. I'm
No,
feeling
he'll
all
be here to
uncomfortable
win.
looking
He'll
at
be here
this
August
weirdo.
28th. We don't have the time yet.
We're gonna
guys.
work out the times. It's probably gonna be like a 2 or 3 hour meet and greet. He's gonna
super
be selling some figures of himself.
Who
And
does he wrestle for?
AEW.
What's that?
So basically, they're taking on WWE. We have some AEW action figures here.
That's cool.
But no, he's a really cool guy. Michigan native. He lives here
Yes.
in Michigan.
Oh, wow.
So
Mhm.
yeah.
That is cool.
So apparently, a lot of our Sarge Red's army went to
Yeah, they went
see
to,
if
for-
maybe
so
he's
Comic-Con,
been getting.
Apparently, someone like messaged him on Instagram saying, "Hey, you guys need to check out Sarge Reds."
Yeah.
Well, he tags us back like, "Yes, after 100 people have told us about it, Sarge Reds, we're definitely going to check it
Yeah,
out."
he
So then we
definitely-
reached out to him and he agreed to come out here, and we're going to have him out here just doing signing and meet and greet and do a toy hunt and all that stuff.
Yep.
And, should be fun. If you guys haven't checked out his channel yet, it's what is it? Just Ethan Page on.
Just
YouTube,
search,
right?
yeah, just search All Ego. It'll All Ego or Ethan Page, and it'll pop up. It looks like he's most active on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram.
Yeah.
But yeah, he puts his toy hunts and his vlog and everything up on YouTube, and he's pretty funny. And usually has a cast of characters running around with him, so it's pretty cool.
I'm going to wrestle him when he gets here.
I cannot wait.
I can take him.
Honestly, you're saying it as a joke, but I literally did ask him if he would wrestle you,
I
and
will
he said
body
he
slam
would
him.
wrestle over
Listen,
toys. So
I will body slam Ethan Page.
I
I
love
might
it.
end up in a cast, but I will try.
I see this as a theory or a series, like everything that somebody does, like any guess. Wait, we've got Aaron.
How many dogs are trained?
Okay, wait a minute.
But I did beat Uncaged Games. If you're watching, David,
I was gonna say.
I did whoop your butt in Mortal Kombat.
So yeah, everything that
Oh,
I
you can.
guessed is
That is
Street
a
Fighter.
different game. But
Street
yes.
John takes them on. So wait, so what do you need to take Aaron on? Like, what do you guys need to compete over?
Nothing. Me
No,
and
we don't
Aaron,
compete.
we're like yin yang. We're like
We
very,
don't
very.
You don't compete.
Yeah, no, we're brotherly love.
We don't compete.
I
Do
trained
you really
Aaron.
want us competing? It would cause a friendship.
Yeah, your head
because I'm
would
not going to
explode.
lose and he's not going to lose.
That's a
and it'd be
good
this whole
point. It
thing.
might end up being to the death.
It'd be this whole thing. It would keep going, and then
Oh,
he'd be
jeez.
inappropriate, and I'd be way more inappropriate, and he'd be way more inappropriate, and then this would just start a whole thing.
I think you're
It would.
right.
Yeah,
It would be
How many
horrible.
years have y'all been friends?
yeah, long enough to know we don't need to compete at a competition.
Too long.
Too long. Thank you,
I
Mr.
do though wish
Matthew.
that Aaron did live closer.
I do
because We
too.
would definitely be hanging out a heck of a lot more. So,
Oh yeah.
well, you know, I'm definitely gonna have to go down to Virginia. I mean, there's a lot of guys and gals down in Virginia that I would like to hang out with again. That we used to chill with all the time. Like I said, the one of the biggest things I miss is the camaraderie and everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, shoot, me and Aaron were probably what?
Give her a raise.
Give who a raise?
Give Chrissy a raise.
Job,
Chrissy, you want to work at a toy store? We have our relocation package. It's called Uber and your credit card.
That's funny.
Does anybody have any questions for Aaron or for us or any of the
Oh
new
my
toys we got coming
gosh.
around? I mean,
I think it's too
What?
late. They're tired. They're making
It's
me
getting
yawn.
late.
so if anyone has any questions, we'll have a couple minutes here for you to ask any questions for Aaron or I or Denise is like
Hold on.
going like this, like
Well,
she's
she's going-
hiding.
I'm going to ask Denise the same question I asked you a minute ago.
Oh, jeez.
What's the best thing and the worst thing you like? So, but it has to be like quick answer. Not
Okay,
like,
so the best thing
hold on, but I didn't preface that though. What is the best and the worst thing? Like the best thing about John not being a cop, JJ not being
Oh.
a cop anymore.
the rest of that question, that was not what I thought the question was being.
That's why you got to wait for instructions.
Oh my God, the best thing
About
is
him
that
not being a law enforcement anymore.
the fact that I don't have to like obsess over like the news and what's going on. Like
Not
I'm
me
not
dropping my boots at the end of the day.
I'm not worried about like, oh my God, there was this thing. Like it's
Yeah.
like not plugged into that drama.
Okay. So that's the best thing. So the worrying.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing, or what do you miss the most about him being a cop?
Sexy uniform and handcuffs, obviously.
Oh my God. I was gonna say, oh man, I don't know.
I think it's I don't know. I might be speaking out here, but I think it's the
There's-
community of friends.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a
Because you were big with like
big
a lot of the other
one.
wives and your all circles and like the friendships you all had. and
right.
that kind of
When
stuff.
we left
Yeah.
Virginia, like I basically left like my entire like
Everything.
everything.
But what did you gain by moving up here? We're
Family.
close to family and everything, which
Family.
was worth it. I mean, I love
Yeah.
all my friends and everything, but you gonna watch my kids when they're sick? I don't think so. All right, so we got a couple questions. Kevin said he told Ethan about us at Motor City Comic Con. Thank you, sir.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. Word of mouth is the best advertisement. So, guys, we've only been here 7 months.
Ooh,
So
Matthew
if you
asked a
guys
good
know
question.
anybody that's maybe into toys, let them know about the shop. And again, we're always buying toy collections, preferably vintage, but we do buy modern. And let people know. No proton packs, Alric. We didn't go in on that. Cheapest Killer Clown
I freaked
merch.
out when I saw it too, and I was like, but we're not doing it.
Cheapest Killer Clown merch we have in the shop is probably the Handmade by Robots. We have the
Dude, some of those clowns you guys have are like legit, like give kids nightmares.
listen, we sell nightmare fuel at our store, I'll tell you
They're real.
that.
It's real.
So we do have the Handmade by Robots there, $13.99.
No, those are
Ooh,
cool.
Those
But
are
who
cool.
dreams up some of these?
No, these
things?
are
Like,
cool.
These are rad.
I'm
So, yeah,
talking about.
those are the cheapest
Put
Killer
them out
Clowns,
there.
and we do have the Migo, and I believe they're
Wait a minute. I'm gonna.
$18.99 or $19.50 or something
I'm
like that.
talking more about those evil clowns, like those toy figures I saw on the backside there. They were like evil clowns, man. They were like, whoa.
Like Art the Clown.
I don't know.
Yeah, we have some evil clowns.
You guys have everything here. Guys, you got to come see this place, man. It
Comic
is
Food
absolutely ridiculous.
2814. Thanks, Gene. We appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, we didn't order the proton packs from the HasLab. I was going to. I didn't. I ordered a couple of the Sky Strikers. Let's see. Matthew has a question. How does law enforcement experience help both of you with your business? Aaron? Oh, Denise has some nightmare fuel she wants to share with you all.
Yeah, I'll answer that question, but Denise,
Yeah,
show us
Denise,
what you got
show,
first.
show your nightmare
Oh,
fuel
I was
first.
gonna wait.
Oh,
Show us
no, we did a whole video on these.
Wow. So, like, this is what I mean. Like, this stuff is like that of nightmares, man.
It is.
We do have
But-
some fun toys. and
But
we
this is
also
what's
have-
cool, though. This is what's cool. Like, as an adult, would be something that I'd put, like, on my desk, like, or in my office. Like, it's
To make
cool.
statements.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, it's high quality. It looks cool. Like, I mean, this even, like,
That is freaking.
but this is
horrible.
stuff that people wouldn't even think out of the box.
I did work with
right?
people that look like that.
That's true. But is this examples of toys that are like so detailed that they wouldn't even take them out of a box, or do people actually like play with them?
No, people. They're not really toys. They're more.
So
they're toys. but these are
there's
from
two different
2000
schools of thought.
Wait
Some
a minute,
people
was
take
there
them out, some
babies
don't.
coming out of this toy?
I don't. It's gross.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
This is like
100%.
Tortured Souls is kind of like creepy. Clyde Barker.
It's the
came up with it.
worst.
Yeah, that's scary. I wouldn't even want that in my kid's room. I'd throw that in the trash can.
Garbage. No, they're cool. Yeah, that's not really geared towards children. But anyways, Matthew Fox had a question about how does your experience as a Leo help with both
I
our
can answer
businesses?
that question, but I'll let you guys go first.
Aaron, I'll let you go first since you are the guest of the evening. The
So I never
belle of
believed
the ball.
I've never believed in verbal judo before. I always thought it was silly. When people would say go to verbal judo class or learn how blah 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 blah.
What is verbal judo? For
Yes,
those who might not be
please.
initiated.
The simplest way would say a calculated way to de-escalate verbally a situation, right? So, hey, we appreciate what you're saying. Let's go. It's just a de-escalation technique to talk, right? However, well, I didn't see that as my job. Are you drinking champagne or wine?
Prosecco.
What is it?
It's in between.
Isn't that ham prosciutto?
But if you use those same strategies to de-escalate what you would de-escalate on the street towards communicating with clients, you can do a pretty good job. The other thing I think it was a benefit about being a cop is you work around and with so many people that you can assimilate very quickly.
That's a good one.
And then you deal with so many people that you're just very used to dealing with a tremendous amount of different people, always at their worst. Now, in business, we normally deal with them at their best or when they're in a time of need, not a time of crisis. And some people misinterpret that with law enforcement. They say, well, yeah, but everybody's in a time of need for all businesses. No. There's time of crisis and there's time of need.
Different.
You could go to a
Totally
department
different.
store and you may need a pair of jeans. You may need a new sweater. That ain't crisis.
Right.
Yeah.
So police officers, by and large, deal with people in crisis. Yes, crisis means different things, different person, and there's subjective analysis of what a crisis is to different people. However, dealing with someone in a crisis versus dealing with someone in a need is apples and oranges. So I think because we've dealt with the extremes from deaths to murders to suicides to fatality accidents to notifications to all the stuff that goes with all that, right? Talking about a misunderstanding on a contract becomes much simpler.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean,
in general,
honestly,
it's just dealing with people, though. I think especially with what we do with retail, you're dealing with people all the time, and you want to make your customer happy. Is the customer always right? Absolutely not. I don't believe that. I think that's if someone comes in and goes, "This thing says $29.99, but I will give you 99 cents for it." I'm the customer. I'm right. That's not the case. But you do have to know how to talk to people. Like I'll get people come in sometimes and they want to let me negotiate this price. Will you take $5 off on this? Certain items, maybe I will. But at the end of the day, this isn't a garage sale. It's not a flea market. Some of the stuff, our profit margin is very slim. So you need to be able to tactfully tell people, like, I would, but I can't because this is the margin, blah, 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 blah. So being able to talk to people, I think, is very important. And that's one thing you learn from dealing with people on a regular basis, with our former careers.
What if I flip back live on camera? Because I keep feeling like I'm about to flip, so I keep grabbing your
Dude, we have a very shallow crawl space with very loamy soil, so we got somewhere for you.
I'd make sure I came off camera. I'd kick this
I
table.
appreciate it, Alric, about you sharing our channel and everything with everybody. Box or out of box? I'm out of box. I think.
Out of box.
Why not appreciate the entire thing? I'm of the mindset that something that's
toys
new,
are meant to be opened and played with.
I think the new stuff that's coming out, so many people buy to save for value. Yeah, some stuff is going to go up. It's never, I don't think, and maybe I'm wrong, I'm probably wrong, is never going to appreciate the value of the stuff in the 80s and 70s that are not opened.
It's true.
Case in point, we have all the Star Wars Episode 1 stuff, Power of the Force stuff. It's the same price or a couple bucks more or a couple bucks less than it was when it came out back in the day. So, I'm not open it, enjoy it. The artist that sculpted these things take the time to sculpt the entire thing. It's not like the back of it's a flat blob,
These are cool.
Enjoy the whole thing.
I mean, the detail on all those ones over there is
the handmade by robots. So we do carry handmade by robots, guys.
But these are
Aaron's
like
holding a couple of them.
Ones,
yeah, they're made to look like knit figures.
Like if you think about a robot, make something plasticky and it's knitted.
So
in plastic.
we have what's coming up. We have Velma coming from Scooby Doo.
We have Velma.
We have the Mystery Machine
and all the Harry Potters.
And all the Harry Potters, guys. I think we are the cheapest around. We actually sell these for cheaper than you can buy them from Handmade by Robots website. Plus, you don't have to pay the shipping. So we do have these things, $13.99. There's other places in town you could probably get them, but they're a couple bucks more. You know what? Get them here. I'm willing to sell them for a price that we're still making a profit, but you guys can get them for a little bit cheaper price. So we're here to make you happy because we love the hobby. We love the whole aspect of collecting and all that stuff. So, if you haven't checked us out yet, our Handmade by Robots, Funko Pops, action figures, check us out. You know, we try to have the best prices around.
Was there a dig worked into there?
Barges, garbage. Okay, your daughter loves killer clowns and stuff. Ninth birthday is a few weeks. Hey, we got the Migos and we have these killer clowns. There's not a lot of killer clown merch out there though.
No, there's not.
Other than that, the
Does
Migos,
killer clowns come from like the Insane Clown Posse?
No. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is an '80s movie where those clowns
It's
came
what John
down.
was for Halloween.
I was Jumbo for Halloween. They
I haven't
basically
dressed
put
up for
people in
Halloween
cotton
since
candy
I was, like,
cocoons and 6 straws
9
in
years
second
old.
blood.
We went to this rad
9 years old, I haven't dressed up.
We went to a rad Halloween
I
party
thought you were
just
dressed up
last
right
year.
now.
Yeah,
Wah, wah. You just gave him that.
I know. It was like
So Barges, garbage. Hopefully we'll see you here for some handmade by robots for your kid's birthday.
There you go.
But yeah, what else we got that's new?
I don't know. Oh, the Robin and the other one up there that you told me about this morning, and I forgot to put it in the video.
If you guys follow us on YouTube, if you don't follow us on TikTok, make sure you check it out because every morning when Denise gets here, she gets here before I do in the morning. She does a
and she
video.
goes, "Good morning to
She
all
spins,
you beautiful
Good morning,
toys."
all you beautiful toys. Let's
And I
start
usually-
our day started.
Shall we?
And then she talks about like stuff. She has little pep talks and shows some of the new product we get in the shop.
It usually
leaning back and scratching your back on my hand. It's my hand.
Hey,
not
baby.
the back.
Yeah,
He keeps
baby.
doing that. I think he thinks it was the chair. It's
So my
hand.
pep talk usually comes from my conversations with my best friend. So like whatever's going on in our lives, we
Is
talk
that
like
a local friend or like
no,
it's
she lives
Mary,
in
my
Maryland.
sister
You know
wife.
Mary. You've met Mary before. She
don't
lives
know.
far away, but anyway, so we talk every day. So it's always about like whatever's going on. So I usually take a little bit of like our conversations
snippet.
and I use it to use as part
That's
of my
cool.
pep talk. And then whatever's going on in the shop and
That'll always keep it different.
It's
too.
funny. People
Just
come in
the
here. There's a
morning
couple of her like, we just came here because we saw the redhead lady. Where's she at? And the news comes out and says, there she is. She does the Good Morning Toys thing.
so
It's
weird.
hilarious.
it's so weird. It's so weird.
I've been recognized. Like I've been in like Walmart. Like, aren't you Sarge? Like, who you?
Why do you
But
know
it's
me?
awesome. You know, we really appreciate everyone's support. And it's funny, like people call, "Hey Sarge, how you doing?" I'm like, if you call and like you're like, "Hey Sarge," I'm sorry, I apologize. I probably don't know who you are because it's just your voice, or if I've never met you because you're just like, you know, you communicate with us online. So just let us know who you are. Say, hey, this is Steve. I follow you guys.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. So
I used to get really uncomfortable with that.
Ooh, tell us.
yes, please tell us about your uncomfortableness.
So you know, like we started in Loudon. I worked in Loudon. The first probably $1,000 we did were in Loudon, and we had a huge
Like through somebody you knew. You,
social
who knew
media
you.
presence
Yeah.
in Loudon, right? So it started getting to the point where anytime I was out, people would see. And now it's relatively normal in that small area,
Yeah.
obviously.
There's Aaron Taylor. Oh
So
my
weird.
god!
he
It's so
touched
weird.
me. He
No,
touched
don't
me.
Do
be
women
silly.
throw their panties at you?
Oh God!
Do men throw their panties at you?
Oh, stop, please. But it's one of those things where it's like now I kind of take it as like a little bit of flattery. You know what I mean? Like you're kind of proud, and then I make sure I talk to people. You know, like
Yeah.
Oh, you talk to
if they
everybody.
come up. But now some people, it's like, do they really want
By
to
the
talk to
way,
you? Or do they
Aaron
just want
has a
free
lot
advice?
of knowledge and information that's transferable to like everyday life.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I
Like,
appreciate that.
No, if you
Aaron is probably one of
follow.
the smartest guys I know, other than myself.
Wow.
Who's that?
No, I'm
Wow.
serious. Like I know we
This
joke
is John.
about-
Where's JJ?
And
Bring
I know,
JJ
right?
back.
I know,
I
right?
You
joke
can't
with
do it,
Aaron all the
John.
time, but I'm like super proud of what he's done. And I look at like
Aw.
from us going from
Man.
talking over drunken noodles and whatever that weird tea crap you used to drink was, probably bubble tea,
No, it's Thai coffee. Thai iced
whatever
coffee.
it was.
The first time I got John a Thai iced coffee, he was like, "That's good and really strong." I'm like, "Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I love him."
But like from all those talks to seeing where he's gone now, from having like literally the couple crates I gave him for free to
Yeah.
start his dog business.
Did
It's a-
You get it?
you bought crates from us because it was from
Oh,
the farm.
when your mom was selling all the German Shepherds.
Yes.
Yes.
So
that's right.
technically, I got Aaron started not only his career in law enforcement, but also at Ridgeside K9. You're
Yes.
welcome, sir.
I appreciate
Wait,
But,
I
that.
got points here. Wait a
and
minute.
Denise-
You should have invested and bought in.
I did. I gave you some. You're
No,
supposed to give
you
me some
should've bought
royalties
in.
after those.
He should have
prices
bought
happened.
in back
You
then.
probably still have those crates.
$1,000 would have went.
But no, seriously, I mean, you've taken this business from something that was like an idea we talked about, you know, and I remember we always talked. I said, Aaron, like, look at what you're making now. What would you be making? Like, what I said. I said, put your money away from what you're making with the sheriff's office and just live off of what you're making off Ridgeside. If that works, then you know you're ready to go. You can leave this job. I remember we talked about that multiple times. Did you take my advice?
So that was no. I didn't.
Would you take me as a wise mentor or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you've done successful. So I always say, don't take advice from somebody that's never done it.
That
Right.
was the best thing you told me. You told me
Is-
that last time you were up here. You're like, you don't listen to somebody who's not there.
No,
like,
it's
it's
crazy.
not worth it.
It's
Yeah.
crazy because people have so many like theories, and it's like theories are nothing more than an opinion that somebody like put on paper. Like it means nothing, right?
Right.
And it's like, you know, how many? I was telling my son Kevin this. It's like, you know, he just has a master's from William and Mary business.
He just has a master's.
Yes, it's just a master's. Yeah.
No, I'm proud of him. I'm not downplaying it. William and Mary's hard as shit. William and Mary business school grad level is very, very
Hell
hard.
yeah.
However, I don't think any of his professors were even business owners. You know what I mean? Maybe, but I know most of them were not. So it's kind of one of those like, what is going on? You know? But I do believe that, you know, all your friends will give you a ton of it. And it's important to let people talk and listen to them. Maybe you get 1% knowledge from them. But most people, that you can't give functional advice on something you've never done and you just read about, because it doesn't work.
You haven't done it.
It's not practical.
Well,
you know,
there's
that's
also...
why I could walk in the store today and the first thing I told you was like, who runs inventory here? Like, this would stress me out. Like, there's so much of it. Like, it's everywhere, you know?
The store, it's supposed to be everywhere.
I know, but in the back of my head, I'm like, after hours, somebody is stocking, cleaning, organizing, tagging, putting price tags on, loading it into, you're using a square, loading it to square. Like, there's a lot going on. And I see that because I don't know how I would recreate this, right? So clearly you created it. Clearly it works. But it's wild. But would you take advice on a toy business from me? I would hope not, because I wouldn't know shit
But it's not necessarily about the toy aspect of it, but it's from the
accounting, or
but
we
not
could
even
share
that. Like
there.
when we were sharing ideas, when we were talking out all those nights, I think like neither of us had done it really, other than like what we were doing on the side. So
yeah,
like just kind of
You both were
brainstorming was a lot of it.
learning,
We were learning from each other. Like I was like, I'll let Aaron retire first, and if he
You
fails, I'm
did
like,
tell me that.
staying.
Did
I'm
he
good.
really? Did he really say
Oh
that
yeah,
to you?
multiple times. It's like,
Yeah, but
you go first.
You go first. Tell me how it
You go
is.
first.
Honestly, when Aaron left, I was like, okay, if he could do it, like, I'm not saying this like I was like,
Of course
I
you
was
should.
jealous. I was like, man, if he could do it, you know, shit, we could do
You
it.
should
Let's
always
do it.
think
Okay,
you're
I'm
smarter
gonna
than
say
everybody
this
else,
because
though.
John does look to you like, okay, what is Aaron doing?
I do the
Like,
same
let's
thing on
see
the
what
back end though. It goes both ways.
I
You
know it
what I
does,
mean?
and
Like,
I think it's so sweet. It's cute.
it goes
We're not
both
cute.
ways.
We're masculine.
I'm sorry, they're
manly
tough.
men.
I
They're
know
tough.
what you're about to say, because you're like, we are manly. I don't know what the hell. I know what you're worried. I know what you're about to say. I never know what you're about to say. You can never guess what JJ is going to say.
Yeah, Matthew has given us some good advice too. He used to work in a toy shop in Jersey. Even though he's a firefighter and a second responder, we still do love Matthew and respect his opinion.
Wow.
That's a joke, man. I'm
We
waiting for
love
you to come up
Matthew.
here, buddy. When are you going to make the drive to Michigan?
I know, right?
We all want to meet the infamous Mr. Fox.
Fabulous Mr. Fox.
No, I thought the fabulous Mr. Foxley.
Well, it is the fabulous Mr. Foxley. But
Which is a different
it
Mr.
rolls
Fox.
off the tongue though, so the fabulous Mr.
does.
Fox still works too. So they can both be fabulous.
Fantastic. And Christy said she's quitting and coming to work at the toy store.
Oh
Where's
yeah,
to
look
say
at that. She's coming up here to Michigan.
She ain't going nowhere. Trust that.
I like her. I've never even
said
met her. I
donuts
like
are
her.
delicious. Don't act like firemen don't eat donuts. I mean, yes, you guys have calendars and like make chili, but I mean, come on, dude.
Chrissy, it's cold up here. There's no horses.
There's lots of
There's horses up here.
Denise used to ride horses. Denise is an equestrian.
What am I, John?
An equestrian dancing fool. She used to work at an equestrian hospital and would fix horses' boobies.
What is an equestrian? What?
Yeah, I want to know what an equestrian dancer does too, because that's not me.
It's like the horse whisperer, but with dancing.
I was
That's
an
what
equestrian
horses, not
nurse
wolves.
at one point in time. Yes.
I
Were
don't
you really?
like riding horses because it makes my hips hurt.
What would you do as an equestrian nurse?
She get
So-
kicked in the chest
Hold
by
on.
horses.
Hold on.
Like basically a vet
Hold
tech.
on. I gotta ask a question.
Oh
I don't know if this
Jesus.
is even going to be inappropriate. I don't know. This might be an inappropriate question, but
Go
it's going to be
for it.
appropriately asked.
We're after hours. Appropriate
perfect.
asked. Okay.
So there was a, what was that sound in the background?
There's people in the parking lot.
Oh, maybe they walked back.
Yeah, it's probably Matt and Mike.
Just make sure. Take a look at my car. My cameras are all on.
Now your greatest Matt and Mike and them.
Wait. Oh, so what's the question?
Okay. So you guys want to talk to them through my cameras?
No, it's Matt and Mike. They helped us build this place.
Oh, okay, cool. We can talk to them through the cameras in the car. It's weird. If we could get signal. Okay, so question. I saw there. Look at it. You see him right here.
I see it right there. It's Matt.
That's funny.
That's so crazy.
They're like they're still
We're looking at like
going.
Aaron has his magic Tesla out here, and you can see-
Killer Clowns in Utica weekend. That'd be
There
fun.
we go. You never ate while on shift. Didn't want to very late.
He just
Firefighter
dodged
inside.
whatever that question was.
Okay,
He
so
just thought
question.
second of it. And he didn't want to ask him.
real question. This is real. I just turned the lights on and flashed them on. The high beams on the movement. Okay. I saw this video on TikTok and it disturbed me. Okay. So it was this horse and yeah, I don't know if I should do that.
Oh, Aaron. Oh my God.
Basically, the horse was doing the birds and the bees to a female horse, obviously.
Okay.
And then this nurse, when he was like on the back,
Redirected it into something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like, remember those containers as a kid you would mix like high C or like the juice containers in? It was like a container.
I had
And you would,
nothing
like-
to do with that part. That was your question. I had no. That's not.
Is that
was.
real or like that's a TikTok video? That was. Like
I have no
collection,
idea
like-
what they showed you, but there is
yeah.
absolutely collections. There's
that was
collection
happening,
that happens.
And on the when the piston was going this way, like in a motor, they grabbed it and put it into something else, and it was just like I was like, what the? It was crazy. I didn't know that happened like that. It was pretty intense.
Well, it didn't happen in the hospital, so I was not a part of such.
It was
events.
definitely in like a field. They were like at a paddock or something. I
What's
don't know.
happening?
I don't know, but I remember we
Making
had a
sound.
beagle
It
and
was
she used to
crazy.
like eat dog poop or a horse poop.
What was your beagle? What was the
Cuffs.
Rottweiler's name? Yeah, Cuff.
Riggs was the
Riggs.
Rottweiler. Yeah, we had 5 dogs at one point.
Yeah, you had quite a few.
We had a pack, yeah.
Isn't that crazy with the cars though? Where you can like turn your car on and watch them on the
I know,
camera?
it's-
Okay, so he's got the coolest car. And if anybody that's watching or has hung around, because bless you, because I think you're crazy, but
What?
Aaron Taylor has like a car thing, a car obsession.
Fetish?
What do we a fetish? I don't know
Yeah.
what you want to call it. He's got a car thing. And he's a
I
Dude,
really
you
only
rad
had a
spend-
new
car.
car
I
every
only
year.
spent money on 2 things.
You had a Titan?
Wait. Two
That
things.
was
I want to hear. I know
fucking
one. What's
way
the
long
second
time
one?
ago.
Donuts.
Cars and coffee.
Oh.
No, every time I talk to Aaron, like he's got it on his thing.
Coffee?
I'll take one Aussie strawberry tea.
Well, my new drink is black tea with strawberry acai base, iced. That's good.
The Starbucks thing.
Yeah, that's good.
Remember when we went over to what's that place down the road we went to?
Your little
Northern
shop here?
Grind. Yeah, the
Northern
little
Grind.
coffee shop. Yeah.
Did you two go?
There's a lot of cool places, guys. If you ever do come visit us, to check out in Utica, there's a lot of cool local business if you want to support local. There's Vinny's Italian downtown. There's like Muldoon's Locker Room. You got Steampunk. What else is down there?
I think you need most
Northern
of
Grind. Yeah. There's what's that new wine place? Vino and Vibes.
them. Vino and Vines.
Vibes or Vines? I think it's
Oh.
Vibes.
I don't know what it is.
You got Tivoli's if you like Italian. A lot of people come here from out of town. Like we'll have people come from Pennsylvania and Ohio to come visit the shop, and they always ask what good locations there. We
Aviary, and we
always
send
point
people
you to
down
the
to
location
Aviary,
of
too.
the local family-owned business.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a McDonald's where you're at, but you know what? If you're going to go somewhere, support a local business. Try something new. I always, whenever we go visit somewhere, like if I go buy a collection, we always buy collections, guys. So give us a call, shoot us an email. But we'll always check out like a local restaurant. We always want to try the cuisine of the area. So I think it's important. You know, Jeff Bezos is a damn rocket ship. Why can't I? I don't really want a rocket ship. I'm afraid of heights.
All right, guys. I think we should call it. I'm gonna call it.
You're gonna call it?
I'm gonna
All
call
right, guys.
it.
Well, we appreciate you checking us out. Make sure you vote for the best toy store in Macomb County on Macomb Daily's Best of the Best. Make sure you come here for Ethan Page and for Phil Stone. And yes, Aaron has the that's probably smarter than you puppet there of Animal. But we'll see you at the shop, guys.
We'll see you in the shop.
Deuces.